Local high school sports is proud to bring you tonight's game between Clay and United Affair. Tonight's game is being brought to you by the Clay County Tourism Department, Mr. Chubby's Wings, the First Baptist Church of Orange Park, New Teeth Now, the RCC Church, and the United Soccer Alliance. Mr. Chubby's Wings, United Soccer Alliance.
Shooting a 4 under par, 68.
Rivalry games get a little heated here in Clay County. Elsewhere in the country, though, some people call it clean old-fashioned hate. Down south, they call it the war on I-4. Tonight, we're calling
one, boys. Good. Running the last band thing.
And here come the Golden Eagles!
Focus, we're going.
Check, 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 check.
Yep.
At Randy Warren Stadium, known as The Rock, here at Fleming Island High School. BP alongside David Wells. We apologize for the technical difficulties right now, but as you can see, the world, heck of a ball game tonight. The question that we have for taking his spot this evening in Landon Chadwick, a sophomore.
Coin toss, and he's been named one of the captains for tonight. Raposa and Chadwick got some work last week against Bishop Kenny High School.
4.5-yard loss. Now at the 8-minute mark here for the Blue Devils. They'll split the formation, 4 wide receivers now. They'll go trips to the right of Raposa. Gino Addison will be the running back. He will be featured at that position most of the Eagles. Left, steps up into the pocket, and he'll get sacked, and that is it. Again, already started.
That's number 99, Gooseby. He's their senior captain as well on that defense for Clay High School. He didn't have the most productive season in 2022, but he's stepping into a really big role this year, and is obviously one of their vocal leaders.
Your
So they'll back it up 5
number
yards
3, Trace Burney, number 4,
to the 46-yard line of Fleming Island. First and 15 now.
10, Aiden Postemski.
5:43 to go here in the first quarter. We're glad you're joining us.
That's your offensive unit.
Bear with us here
for the Golden Eagles.
as the entirety of this part of Clay County is here tonight. The internet signal went with it. 4 wide now for Fleming Island. Broughton steps back, gingerly throws over the middle. That is caught, and that is Trace Burney. This is what we expected. And here we go. Braden Cunningham is going to draw a flag. And that's going to move the 6 for Fleming Island, and now we have your answer.
After
Like that scene from The Blind Side.
What it seemed like, but no, that was actually on the Blue Devils side of things. So that's going to move the ball just inside the 30-yard line to the 29. Sorry, the 31-yard line. Mark it first
the
and
Golden
10.
Eagles down at the 31-yard
like a
line
blitz
of
look at
play.
man-to-man
First
coverage.
down, Golden Eagles.
Spread formation for Sebastian Broughton. He'll have Trace Burney in the
5:32
backfield.
to go in the first quarter.
Again, no score so far in this game.
Plenty of cushion on the outside, plenty of room for underneath passes.
Broughton, quick throw. That's going to go
Pass
right
to
to Burney.
Burney.
Shake and bake. And I help to the 20-yard line. Down to the 20-yard line. Down to about the 17-yard line.
You're not going to be able to cover these receivers from 7 or 8 yards off. They're just going to dink and dunk you to death.
No, and then Broughton's taking those throws, making really good ones at that. Taking what the defense gives you, that's all you can do.
It's too big of an offensive line and too much talent for you not be able to square up on these guys. They can't have the ability to sit in the pocket all day and just deliver and distribute the ball.
They'll load the formation to Broughton's right, and then now Beverly's going to step up in sort of a tight end role right now. Broughton will take a snap, roll out to his right, changes his mind, steps up,
Broughton on a
shifts,
delay. He's going
and
to get stopped at the line
Worm
of
didn't
scrimmage.
really get much, but back to the line of scrimmage.
Gave way underneath.
Seemed to find a lane and then lose it, find
Second
it again.
down.
Yeah, it
Lost
looked really
altogether.
dynamic to start. There was a little space there, but it closed quickly. I think he lost his footing, or else he probably would have gotten a couple more yards.
Absolutely. Call that a no-gainer on the play. 2nd and 10. Trying to see what he saw there. Maybe he called his own number, or maybe he saw something that was an option. Anyway, Broughton will take it again. He'll check at the line of scrimmage.
Got a very light box for Clay High School right now. There's probably plenty of ability to run the ball.
Again, big zone on the outside, right side of the formation right now. Broughton making adjustments here. And then he's going to wait for the snap. Got it. Quick throw out to the side. That's caught at the 10-yard line. Davion Boykin into the end zone for a touchdown. Davian Boykin catches the ball as soon as he got in space. Shifty moves, and off he went.
Boykin is dynamic. His ability to make people miss in space, that lateral agility on display there, and shook 2 play defenders into the end zone.
With that said, and I want to get a firm pronunciation of his name. Is it Davion, Devon? I keep hearing 2 different things, but we're going to go with what we got here. But nonetheless, Boykin in the end zone for the first points of the game with 4:02 to go in the first quarter.
Cunningham here shaking the gloves off. He's going to take the long snapper duties as well. Something that was a little bit dicey last year, but the operation has been very smooth so far this season.
Parker Sertivan on to attempt the extra point. Snap back down, good, straight through. No worries there, 7-0.
You get a stop on defense, you make your extra point and score a touchdown on offense. It's a fantastic start for the Golden Eagles.
Absolutely, it's where you need it to be. So with 4:02 left to go, 7-zip. We'll take a quick timeout and come back right here on Florida Sports Broadcasting.
Florida Sports Broadcasting is your home for live local sports in Florida. Florida Sports Broadcasting covers sports year-round and brings you the action live with play-by-play so you don't miss a moment of the action.
Broughton gets the snap, steps.
Go it again.
He's going to throw it again. He's got a receiver. That's going to be a penalty. Oh, they end up Fleming Island. Touchdown! It's a touchdown! Touchdown!
Make sure you like FSB on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And for more information, go to floridasportsbroadcasting.com.
Welcome back to Randy Warren Stadium, The Rock here at Fleming Island High School. 7-0 your score. And once again, we are glad you're joining us tonight. We apologize on our video quality tonight as the entirety of this part of Clay County is here. I'm not surprised, but we'll do our best to paint that picture for you as we try to see what we can get. Hopefully this will clear up a little bit. Clay's got the kickoff, and this is going to go across the 40, and it got a jump, and wow, here we go again. The Blue Devils have excellent field position, but a flag is on the play.
Yeah, you can't block in the back if it's not really a block in the back, but if you're parallel to somebody running up the field and you try to make contact on up the field with the defender in the opposite direction of your own end zone, then you're probably going to get a flag.
Well, and they've now waved that off.
The penalty, but it looked really close.
Probably a better bet for the official to call the penalty and wave it off than not call it at all and leave a question. So that's going to put the ball right about the 49-yard line of the Blue Devils. Great return on that play. And here we go again.
49-yard line.
And
Play is on offense once again.
4 wide receivers.
I have Van Hoff and Jackson as the 2 outside backers.
Takes a snap. This is a change in quarterback, and we have a turnover on the play. Fleming Island with a recovery, and that was a bad snap.
That's Van Hoff. There you go.
What a play by the Golden Eagles, and there was a change at quarterback. That was not Merrick Raposa taking the snap. And immediately the Blue Devils turn the ball over. Fleming Island with excellent field position to start.
So if you're going to put a quarterback that's not quite as athletic as Raposa and Landon Chadwick out there, you're going to expect him to do the simple things right. You know, you got to have the center quarterback exchange perfect. You got to be able to complete short underneath passes and eventually be able to stretch the field. And that's a really quick way to not see the field again, is to fail the quarterback center exchange.
Yep, got to be sure-handed. So with that said, Sebastian Broughton comes back out to run the offense. Good series first time through. Let's see if we can do that again. 3:49 to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 Fleming Island with a chance to take a commanding lead early.
In the backfield with Broughton.
They'll tighten the formation up, 3 wide receivers, 3 guys in the backfield, and that usually means Demir Jackson's going to get a give, and that does, and he comes around the formation, wide open field, tripped up, that's a first down, and a flag on the play.
A penalty marker on the play.
So it's flag in the area of holding.
And another flag coming out right after that.
Penalty flag
that second one might be some jawing on Jackson. Not quite sure who it's going to be. It might be offsetting both directions, but either way, it's getting a little chippy out here.
As is expected in a rivalry game, this is the first game for each team every year. It's no surprise. And as we attempted to say in our pregame show, they call it in Georgia clean old-fashioned hate when Atlanta comes to town. That little engineering school goes to Athens. When you're down in South Florida, when the Bulls come charging in
to Central Florida. They call it the War on I-4, and I'm settled on calling this one Mayhem on 17.
Ooh.
You could probably call it the Tussle on 220. All sorts of stuff you could come up with here.
Clay County Clash.
Yeah, Clay County Clash. That's a common one here. So the offsetting penalties, we'll just do this one more time. So 1st and 10, one more time here for the Golden Eagles. Demir Jackson on that last run. And that was a great look, too. He completely came around the formation. Nobody in the vicinity.
Holding was a call against the Golden Eagles and offsetting personal
But that's probably why they had
teams.
a open lane there because of a hold on the outside of the formation. So
at the 43-yard line of
set up
play.
on a similar side here. 3 wide receivers. Double sidecars there. We're going to get a give. Demir Jackson gets it up the middle, gets a nice
Jackson
cut,
again.
trots up the field. We'll call it about a 7-yard maybe gain here.
36-yard line.
Spot the ball just at the 36-yard line, and that's something that, we're not used to seeing Demir Jackson. Snap, they're going to give, and that one looked like it was not the greatest exchange. Beverly grabs it, but now we're going to get a flag on the play, and that might be in the vicinity, and the timing of the flag may
Exchange there. They were Jackson thought he was going to get the ball. Beverly thought he was going to get the ball. It was honestly just a race to see who grabbed it out of Sebastian Broughton's hands first, and it ended up being Beverly.
At the 25-yard line, down.
So they move it all the way down, first down and 10. 2:57 to go here and counting.
Seeing a little bit of rotation here from the Golden Eagle offensive line. Hayden Compton comes off, and number 70 as well. Braden Mackey also came off there. So you're going to see a little bit of a different look from the Eagles, maybe a little bit more passing situation here.
Bernie Postemski's wide right.
Postemski. That's a fun name to say, too, let me tell you. Hayden Postemski, the senior.
He had a couple good catches last week, too.
He sure did. Didn't call a double sidecar formation here. So that kind of gives Broughton a couple of options. And they'll pull it out. Jackson will block, throw over the middle, back of the end zone, no, very close.
If he was going to make that window, that was a tight one. That's thrown into a bucket from 30 yards away.
Absolutely. Bernie almost had a hand on that one, but he would have been out of bounds for sure. So that brings up 2nd down and 10.
He has a lot of touch to him, but you'd want to see him drive that throw in there a bit tighter. It makes that window a bit bigger.
Absolutely. Get that down right in the numbers if he can possibly do it. But a good look by Broughton. And a good play fake, too, to set that up.
He's very calm in the top of the pocket.
Linebackers cheating up a little bit, kind of waiting to see what Broughton would do. They're going to stay in that formation. It's very good. They're going to give this one to Beverly now. Beverly rolls over right tackle, turns upfield, gets the corner, and gets a first down. And another quality run by Tyler Beverly.
Beverly definitely has a little extra juice. He had that acceleration up the sideline. Eventually, that's going to turn into some pretty big plays.
They've been favoring the right side to run. They seem to like that. It's something then the defensive setup that they're exploiting right now.
I think number 56, Couch, I think he's also a pretty good player on that right side of the offensive line as well.
Spot the ball at the 11-yard line. Fleming Island can get 10 and move the sticks to get 4 more plays down here. But the Golden Eagles want to go ahead and put this into the end zone, pad that lead.
Jackson
spreading the formation wide now, 4 wide receivers. Broughton checking at the line. And they will do this. They will line up, give you a formation look, get a play in, and then check to something else.
And wind clock.
That's also true. They're possessing the football right now. Broughton kind of does a sprint option, shifts his field, turns up, gets a couple of yards on the play. Not a bad run. Good pressure by the Blue Devil defense to hold that home. He'll get a couple of yards on it, though. No foul there. And I don't see a penalty flag for once.
It was a great defensive scheme call there. They slanted their defensive line to the defense's.
It's a good call right there. So with that, let's take a quick timeout here while we tend to the injured players. 7-0 right now, 1:47 to go in the first. You're watching Florida Sports Broadcasting.
Florida Sports Broadcasting is your official place to watch Fleming Island football in 2023. Last year, the Golden Eagles suffered a disappointing season and failed to make the playoffs, but Fleming Island have a new coaching staff, and despite losing several key players, are reloaded and have quality young players that will be looking to make an immediate impact in 2023. The 2023 campaign kicks off in August. For more information and to watch the Golden Eagles live, go to floridasportsbroadcasting.com.
First Baptist Church of Orange Park was founded in 1921. Suffice to say, much has changed in Orange Park, Clay County, and the world since then. Though much has changed in the world, our mission remains the same. Veterans organizations and more. We are a family equipping church. We invite you to check us out at firstfam.org or join us in person at 1140 Kingsley Avenue, Orange Park, Florida.
Welcome back to the Rock here. 1:47 to go in the first quarter. Brian Paul alongside David Wells here for the Clay County Clash. Blue Devils and Golden Eagles. Fleming Island looking to strike here on 2nd and 7. Broughton will take a snap. Pump fake, steps up, throws a jump pass into the turf. He had a receiver in the area, but not enough to get anywhere near him, and that's going to bring up 3rd down.
And there's a little laying on top of Sebastian Broughton there. I'm sure the offensive lineman's going to be they should be a little bit more upset there. You don't let a defensive lineman lay on your quarterback.
Absolutely not. Don't let that pancake sit for very long. Got to pull that man off and get him going.
It's pretty good pressure there by Jason Golphin from Clay. Ended up with the hit on the quarterback.
Beverly alone in the backfield.
So single backfield now.
3rd down and
Spread the
7.
formation again on 3rd and 7. 4 wide receivers. They're going to back up Bernie off in the slot. Steps back. Calm in the pocket. Throws over the middle. Caught. Touchdown. Nice and easy. Trace Bernie. There he is. They backed him off the slot, and then he found his way into the end zone. Wide open. Nobody there. And another touchdown for Sebastian Broughton.
Just the combination between Boykin and Bernie. Those are 2 receivers that operate fantastically for what Sebastian Broughton wants to do. He wants people that separate for him to be able to drive into windows. And from the slot, you're going to be able to have Bernie make routes and crossing routes, slants, whip routes, change of direction plays. And then on the perimeter, you're going to be able to use Boykin on hitches and more direct run after catch plays.
Parker Sturdivant to line up for the extra point. Snap, back, kick, up, and good. So your new score with 1:35 to go in the first quarter. Fleming Island 14, Clay nothing. Blue Devils plagued by penalties and a turnover on their drive. Let's keep it right here. So, Dave, what do you like so far about this first quarter look from Fleming Island?
Highlighting the skill players. They're getting the ball to everyone. Everyone from Jackson to Bernie, Boykin, Beverly, everyone that matters for this offense in 2023 has touched the ball, had meaningful contributions in a rivalry game. So the talk of the town is going to be, can Fleming Island do this every single week, week in, week out? It's nice to know that they can get offensive production from different players.
Absolutely. Well, and you know what? Here we are again. Fleming Island football. The season has started, and once again we are downwind from the smell of grilled hamburgers.
I didn't know who was going to say it first because I was just about to.
Yeah, I know. I've been smelling it, and yes, that is fantastic.
Fantastic job by the Fleming Island concession stand as always.
Yeah. Kick is up and away. Sturdivant's kick goes back. Dykus will receive. Runs into a couple of Fleming Island tackles. Breaks again. Can't wrap him up. And then they finally drop him down at the 29 to call it the 30-yard line. And Peyton Dykus has been elusive on kicks. They're going to have to gum him up really quick. Otherwise, he may break one tonight.
So you have a combination of smaller tacklers for Fleming Island trying to run faster upfield, limiting how many yards they get. They might not be as consistent of tacklers. They got to be strong with not only the ability to wrap up at the knees, but to grab on and not let go of smaller return men for Clay County.
At their own 30-yard line.
So they'll call it 1st and 10 here for the 30. This is the 3rd offensive possession, and I believe we have Raposa back in at quarterback. Quick flip into the backfield that is caught to Dykus. Dykus steps out, gets a tackle, trips. It looks like it tripped over his own man. But they're going to give him a first down, mark him down at the 41-yard line, and a quick swing pass and first down for the Blue Devils.
There'll be back-to-back tackles for Takori Allen. You know, that's nice to see. He made a special teams tackle there on Dykus, then comes back and tackles him again immediately the next play.
Spot the ball right at the 40-yard line now. They said that's his forward progress ending there. Looks like he might have gotten an extra yard, but they said no, sir. So again, number 16, Merrick Raposa, the star quarterback, the kind of the highlight player between him and Peyton Dykus. That was a consistent connection last season. So far, much of the same. Get a snap. He'll give, and that is Addison. Addison gets to the 45-yard line. Call it there, yeah, down to the 46-yard line.
Definitely been calling Van Hoff's name a lot early. He's been a productive player as both a pass rusher and as a tackler. He's more of the run game fit guy for them, and he's able to make consistent tackles in the backfield.
Geno Addison, I believe that might be a sibling on the team with Neo Addison, the junior wide receiver, number 11.
Ladarius Jackson's number 8.
Addison, Geno, the sophomore. Four wide receivers once again for Clay. Raposa gets a snap, gives it to Addison. Gets over left tackle. Not a whole lot there. He might get a yard. Actually, they say his forward progress was stopped back. They've lost a yard on the play.
Again on the stop.
So once again, crossing the 50, he's going to get a first down, and that's going to move the sticks.
And he has taken a beating early in this game. I'm really surprised he's not wearing some more grass stains right now because he's getting slung to the turf every other play.
It's going to be a long night if that's the case. They spot the ball at the 48-yard line of Fleming Island. Happy you're with us tonight. Again, please bear with us as technology has not cooperated with us the way we want it to, but if you can hear the sound of our voice right now, we'll give you the best picture that we possibly can while we work on the rest of it. We're happy you're here, and we're happy to support high school football in Northeast Florida. This is the most exciting part of our summer and fall, and we are glad you're here with us tonight.
All right, potential trick play here. You got both quarterbacks in here. You got Chadwick as quarterback and Raposa as a wing.
Raposa he's going to come right out of that formation, and here we go, and they're going to whistle this dead right away.
Penalty marker on the
and
play.
I think we're having offsides penalty now being called on Fleming Island. And I don't know, that may or not been fortuitous for Fleming Island because that was looking like to be a trick play that could have gone to any of those receivers. Dykus was in the area, Raposa was in the area.
Well, Raposa is their best athlete, and I think they were trying to get him in space there, running him across formation, and he was uncovered possibly had blockers out in front. So not the worst penalty in the world.
Call it 1st and 5 now. They move the ball to the 44-yard line.
And Chadwick will come off here, get a more traditional set. I think we're going to get a lot more receivers on the field for this play.
Move the ball up to the 43-yard line. Apparently we had a miscount there. And Raposa stays in. Chadwick comes out. 4 wide receivers, and they're going to sling over Neo Addison, getting him tight.
It'll be a timeout for Clay there. They didn't like the look that they saw there, and I think they're going to try to take advantage of something here out of the break.
Absolutely. So we'll just keep it right here right now. 10:45 to go in the first half. And so far, this has been all Golden Eagles.
Well, hey, Clay is hanging in there on offense. They're trying to put drives together. It's kind of painful to watch, but they're getting first downs, and they're trying to be methodical. As long as they limit the penalties, they're still going to be able to move down the field.
And this is kind of where the game went last year. It started out a little terse. First quarter was a little interesting. Fleming Island jumped out to a 14-0 lead, and then after that, they started blowing it wide open. So this is the point of the game that if you're Clay, you don't want to let this get out of hand.
Absolutely. You want to make sure that you're not only running the clock yourself, as Fleming Island's trying to do, but if you can come out of this game 7-14, run enough clock down to where it's a manageable game, one-score game at halftime, sure, you take that 10 times out of 10. One thing I want to see Clay High School do is stretch the ball down the field. Last year, Fleming Island had a lot of trouble covering the deep area of the field.
2 years ago, this game came down to a field goal difference, and Fleming Island walked out of here with a loss. Clay would like to keep the home winning streak out for Fleming Island right now and keep this game in their favor. Raposa takes a snap, pressure in the backfield. He's going to get devoured. Newman absolutely destroyed the initial pressure. Came out by Ladarius Jackson, and then the stop, Newman finishing him off. Number 34 slammed it.
Yeah, I like Newman's energy. He's got no gloves, short socks, no bands, nothing. Just comes out here, plays good old-fashioned football. And that was a nice hard tackle in the backfield there. Nice sack.
Move that back to the 48-yard line of Fleming Island. Big loss on the play.
Even rolls up the T-shirt a little bit, show off the kegger.
Very 90s there of him, late 80s, early 90s. So,
why have a six-pack when you can have a keg?
Exactly. I'm trying to get rid of the keg myself, honestly. I'm done with that. 2nd down and 10 now. 4 wides. Raposa in the pistol now. Takes a snap, gets a give to Addison. Addison will get a couple of yards and a good solid run by Geno Addison. Ball popped out, but he was down, and they're going to mark that about a 6-7 yard game here. And Nate Newman, look at that.
Yeah, I tell you what, that kid plays hard.
That tackle, and look, the hair, the Troy Polamalu hair, never not working. But the helmet
never not working.
You like that, huh?
Nate Newman, never not working.
That's right.
It's going to be a third down.
I wouldn't call that him a whoa, Nelly, big ugly, but he was definitely playing big ugly, that's for sure. Third down and about 3. They mark it a 7-yard gain. I want to shout out everybody who's putting something into this game tonight. We have really been tested, and the behind-the-scenes work that you're not seeing right now is amazing.
Oh, Fleming might want to burn a timeout here.
Yeah, they're doing a late shift, bringing in some big uglies, and now we're going to get a timeout here, and that's an excellent timeout because the substitutions came way too late for the Golden Eagles. 8:54 to go, 3rd and 3, 14-zip. Let's stay here. So, coming up at halftime, we're going to have David Tarkington. He's the pastor of First Baptist of Orange Park, and he's also the Fleming Island character coach, something that we heard that Chad Parker had added this season. And we're going to hear from Coach/Pastor Tarkington a little bit later on at the half. Also, we'll get a halftime performance tonight on the field from the Clay Blue Devil Band. And post-game this evening, Eagle Band 1 will be playing a set tonight. So if you're hanging around here at the Rock tonight, you want to enjoy Eagle Band 1's performances. They always put on one heck of a good show. We're happy you're joining us here tonight. Again, the audio cranking, the video not so much, and we ask that you bear with us.
But hey, let me tell you, it's a fantastic scene out here. From end zone to end zone, this place is packed. There's a line out the door for the concession stand. The Clay people showed up as well. Their entire sideline is packed. I'm looking along the fence line. There is not an empty seat in the house.
Yes, it is packed to the brim, and the visitors' bench also tight. There's lots of standing room here, too. This is a huge turnout. Raposa takes a step, throws over the top, and that is just a little too far. Right way to go, but he gunned that in. This receiver was not as fast as he thought.
That's Dykes versus Singleton right there. That's the matchup of the night. You know, it's going to come down to really who wins that for those deep area of the field passes. That's their best defensive back versus their best wide receiver.
And that's the look you wanted, too, from Raposa in single coverage. He had Singleton beat, but just not enough, and the throw was not where it wanted to be, and I'm sure Raposa wants that back. So Clay is going to elect a punt here, and in punt formation is Ethan Belmar.
So it looks like they're going to change their mind here. Instead of punting, they're going to go for it on about 4th and 3. It looks like they're going to keep in Raposa's quarterback, and they're going to run with a 2-back set.
All right,
and that's a wide receiver out there in the backfield, so some trickeration likely.
Yeah, see if they can tighten that up. So with that being said, here they go, and Raposa takes it, and he gets a first down. And they did exactly what they did. And, you know, honestly, that kind of seen a lot of this. And I know you're probably going to laugh at me when I say it, but this is a lot of short yardage offense that you see in Canadian League football, where they come out short, bring in their big quarterback, have him just charge ahead, find a tackle to run behind, and they get the first down.
Tick, 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 tick. That clock is rolling down. This has been a nice long drive for Clay, and if they can capitalize on here, this game is a lot closer than it feels like it is.
So a fresh set of downs for Clay in Fleming Island territory. First down. They'll mark the ball just about the 37-yard line, we'll call it. Slide Dykes across the formation. Here's the snap give, and then there's Addison. He's going to break a tackle, and they found something on that side.
In comes Chadwick again.
Chance for the defense to rise up here. It's 3rd and 5 right here with 7:28 to go.
All right, you have Chadwick behind center and Raposa at running back. Trying to give the last.
Kind of what we expected. And they're going to give he's going to run over right tackle. Found snap.
Ball on the ground.
I think he got it back.
No.
I think Raposa got it.
And here we go.
Call on the field by the officials. It's the FHSA
and we are going to take the mandatory water break here. So with 5:59 to go, 14-0. Let's grab a drink and come back. You're watching it live here on Florida Sports Broadcasting. Stay with us.
Mr. Chubby's, including all Fleming Island High School campus. You can order online at MrChubby'sWings.com or call 904-272-WINGS. And while you're at it, let Mr. Chubby's cater your next event. Call 904-272-WING. The United Soccer Alliance. is a full-service program. For more information about soccer and the flag football program, go to unitedsocceralliance.org. Traditionally support your organization by augmenting its talent resources. Altier provides institutions the talent to achieve competitive advantages through digital transformation and
They take place here. It's now 4th down and 3. Last time Raposa ran roughshod on him and got a first down. Let's see if they do it again. Raposa trying to see if we can get a jump, get the snap count. He'll check at the line. Fleming Island staying at home. Dykus comes across. Raposa keeps it himself, and that is not going anywhere. And that is the stop you needed if you're the Golden Eagles.
Excellent job, some physicality on that play. Saw David Smith come in there a little bit late with the flag.
And that's not a good sign. Now, here's the thing, though.
It's after the play.
After the play, it's going to just back up Fleming Island.
And it'll only be half the distance. I think you're inside.
Since that's to go here, the officials will discuss. And again, some of those extracurricular activities taking place. And we'll get the call on the field here. On play, offset it. We'll keep it right there. Mark the ball about the 16 yards. Yeah, exactly. He basically would have launched straight.
Number 74, Kevin Reyes. He's played quite a bit in that last game.
Wide receivers and sidecar either side. Jackson and Beverly. Jackson will come across, slide into the tight end role, and then he'll look out into the flat. Broughton steps up, gets a grab of the jersey, and then he'll sling him to the turf with some authority.
That'll be their captain, Gooseby. Gooseby's got to be their best defensive lineman there. You know, he had one big hand. He reached that thing out, grabbed Sebastian Broughton right around the chest, and slung him to the ground.
An excellent tackle in the backfield. Broughton didn't know what to do, couldn't escape the grasp, and that will bring up 2nd down and long. They're going to back that all the way to the 4-yard line. Fleming Island in the shadow of their goalposts.
They're not built for this as a shotgun offense. Now you got inside the 5-yard line here. You just need to get out of your own end zone.
Just got to get a little bit of room here. You don't have to get everything on the first play. And a quick give. Broughton's going to run to the other side. Great play fake. He's going to get into the open field. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Gets 5 more. It marked him about the 20-yard line, and a great run by Sebastian Broughton on his own with a good play fake.
Getting out of bounds there. The clock's going to stop at 3:57. You got plenty of time for a nice long drive.
Yeah, 6.5.
Now this is where you'd like to see Clay tighten up their coverage units. They've been off by 6 or 7 yards every time and then going straight into a deep backpedal. So you're going to see cushion on the outside here and possibly an easy completion for a first down as they're lined up right now.
Yep, and they do that again. Broughton looks, finds that tunnel screen, and overthrows it. And that's incomplete. Fleming Island goes 3 and out.
They haven't worked on that tunnel screen. It's still as bad as it was last week. They didn't complete one last week, and they can't complete one here.
So no harm done there. The sack, basically the setback on that one. But that's where you want to be right now. Fleming Island didn't give themselves issues with penalties, just a defensive miscue, and that you can give to great coverage. And that's better than we've seen them do before. Normally a penalty will set them back. Dominic Castiglione to punt.
Now Castiglione's got a good enough leg to get this one downfield. Just don't outkick your coverage because Dykus is a pretty good return man.
And that is dangerous right now, and Clay would love to put Dykus in the back of the end zone on this kick. 3:52 to go. Good snap. Castiglione gets it off. Great kick. Nice hang time. Coverage is there. Dykus receives it at the 40. Shifts, gets across to the 49-yard line is where they'll stop it. Not quite to midfield yet. Good kick, good return, though.
Just enough hang time.
Just enough hang time. That caught just a little bit. There is a breeze outside, so that might have helped that just a little bit. But nothing doing there.
And the star of the show is coming back out, Nate Newman.
No, let's see it again, number 34.
Oh, got to see it again. Actually, he's coming off for this play. He's probably going to come on for another short yardage situation.
Spot him right in midfield.
3:43 to go.
Another good field position start for the Blue Devils here.
An excellent game last week rushing the passer. He has all that length and a little bit of dip and bend.
Absolutely. 4 wide, trips to the right of Raposa. Gets a snap, pressure in the backfield, and here we go again. Ladarius Jackson, number 8.
What they needed. They needed the pass rush, and you got to get it from somebody. Jackson steps up in a big moment.
What a rush on the outside. Absolutely devoured Raposa. No do, and that's going to be second down. Call it a 6-yard loss, maybe 7 actually. Ball spotted at the 44-yard line of Clay.
We're going to mass substitution here. We're going to have Rogers come on. That's their pass rush set. Rogers and Newman.
Go to more of a pass coverage defense now and second and long.
The top of your screen, we got Dykes versus Singleton.
Got that one-on-one look again. Snap, they're going to throw it underneath. That's going to be Antonio Thomas.
And the turf monster got him.
Tripped up, got some of the penalty yardage, or sack yardage back rather. And Thomas was on the move, had a lane. Third down and long. 3rd and 13. Ball sitting at the 47-yard line of Clay right now. Time ticking down, 2.5 minutes just about. Clay taking all of the time they can possibly take in the huddle here. They are doing everything they can to possess the football and keep Fleming on the sidelines. That's smart.
Yeah, the number one thing you got to tell your quarterback, don't throw an incomplete pass. Take the sack.
At this point, yeah, just let the clock run, get out of the half with a 14-0 deficit. Low snap for Raposa, quick throw, gets it, swings it out. That is caught. Dykes, here we go, and they stop him just short, but boy, he had some running room. Down to the 42-yard line.
Hey, you've gone for longer distances. You're going to go for it here again.
I wouldn't be surprised. So that's going to be about 4th and say a yard, maybe 2. Yep, 4th and 2 is where they spot it. And no punt unit on the field. They're going to keep it here, trying to just go ahead and go for it under 2 minutes.
Now, how many plays do you go in with your 4th down package? Normally you try to practice, what am I doing in the red zone this week? What am I doing on 3rd and short this week? What are our go-to plays on 4th down? You don't have 6 or 7 of those. You usually come in with 2, maybe 3.
No, you really don't. So it's one of those things where you're just going to have to pound it away.
Yeah, look for something in their more traditional offense here.
And I wouldn't be surprised when they maybe try to sneak a pass in here. Let's see if Raposa keeps it himself or they give it up the middle. They fake it, and then Raposa does it, takes it himself, gets the 2 yards he needs and more, across the 30 to the 25, down 20. And Raposa, what looked like might have been a 2-yard gain, turns into about 15 or more.
Oh, I like the most on that is he laid the hit there at the very end. He was not backing down for anything. He put his shoulder
into the red zone.
Oh, tick, 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 tick.
Plenty of time left on the clock for Clay to score. Clay doesn't have any timeouts, as we're hearing here from PA.
I'm getting a little nervous there for them. They got to pick up the tempo here just a tad.
Got to move. You can get a first down and use a sweep.
That is just as good as spiking the ball. You get to the line of scrimmage, you snap the ball, you throw a 50-50 ball. Like us a little bit. If they can hide him in the slot, put him in motion, keep him in the backfield, find a way to disguise him so Caleb Singleton's not on him. The other defensive backs don't have as much talent as he does.
Taking their time here, although the clock is not running.
It was incomplete.
You just go ahead and get
Dykes in the slot in motion.
And then he's going to come back to the left. Raposa rolls to his left. Here comes the pass.
Right.
Cohen, Shafi.
Nobody else except for number 72 is expressing urgency here. He knows to get on the ball.
Coming up on 24 seconds to go in the half. 3rd down. Raposa is going to stay on the field.
I don't think Coach is happy about that at all. I think the players took that play into their own hands.
And that's, yeah, I can see that. Funny looks on their face, and Raposa's like, all right, let's go to the wristband and see what we got here. 4th down. 15 seconds.
You only have one play in for 4th down in this long, and those are vertical seams. Look for them to try to throw one in the zone coverage here.
They can get a first down at the 10, try to move the sticks, maybe run up, spike it again, run another play.
Yeah, Dykes in the slot here. Look for a post from him in the slot.
They're going to load the formation to the right side of Raposa. Yep, Peyton Dykes in that slot. Raposa looks, steps up, tries to do it himself. Plenty of running room, but that's going to be the end of it, and a turnover on downs.
You got to throw that one. No matter what, you got to throw that one. An interception is just as good as that sack you just took.
Well, another stop by the Golden Eagles. 8 seconds to go. I imagine they'll just jump in victory formation, take a knee, and call it a half.
I can imagine your offensive coordinator is not too happy with the way that 2-minute drill went. Actually, it wasn't really a 2-minute drill. It turned into one towards the end of their 8-minute drill.
The only negative part about that was that Clay took all that time off the clock and didn't get any points. If they had scored on this one, it would have made them look pretty good. But nonetheless, they still are looking to go into the half just down 14 points. The way Fleming Island's offense is run, only 1 3-and-out stop this game. And at this point, they'll just come out, take a knee, and call it right there.
And also just something to note for a possible close 4th quarter, Clay doesn't have a kicker that can make beyond the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and that's something you got to pay attention to. Coming up at the half, we'll speak with Pastor David Tarkington, character coach at Fleming Island. Testing.
Play has a
1,
first down
2,
at the
3.
19-yard line of Fleming Island.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are hearing the sound of my voice, we are back on Florida Sports Broadcasting. Whoa. Well, I'm calling it now. All of the technical difficulties that we have had this evening, we are about to get an absolute gem of a football game. Just stand by. We'll do the best we can with it, though. In case you've just joined us or have not been aware of this game at all this evening, it is 10:41 to go in the third quarter. Fleming Island got on the field, did a 2-play, 59-yard drive to make it 21-0.
Loss was behind the line of scrimmage.
Mickey Raposa has run downfield, gotten Clay well into firing distance. We've just had a massive hit. Helmets flying all over the place. Flags down, ball sitting at the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal for Clay. Brian Paul alongside David Wells here live at Randy Warren Stadium at The Rock.
Yeah, this ain't 2A football. That was a big hit right there.
Yeah, that was massive. So with that being said, we'll line back up with 10:41 to go. Clay down 3 scores, trying to come back into this game. Plenty of time on the clock and plenty of opportunity here. They need a score. They need to put 6 on the board.
And Raposa's been putting his team on his back for this whole game so far. It's 21-0, but there's 2 opportunities that Clay's had to narrow that gap down. They missed an opportunity on 4th down to throw the ball into the end zone, but now he's back again in the red zone trying to make something happen.
Yep, so first down and goal.
Players.
Second down and 10 now, second down and goal. Fleming Island defense has played pretty stout, though Clay has also done a pretty good job of shooting themselves in the foot a couple of times. A couple of 4th down stops for Fleming Island.
They might be going right back to that well.
I think so. They're going to load the formation to the right, spread it out wide, play fake. They're going to give that right up the middle. That's going to be a touchdown for Clay. Gino Addison scampers into the end zone for the first touchdown of the night for Clay, and they finally hit pay dirt.
And their whole sideline's going crazy. The stands are right back into this game.
Sort of a deflated Fleming Island defense after the penalty on that one. Blue Devils put 6 on the board with 10:29 to go in the third.
Well, hey, they're going to run a physical game here. You know, you're so keyed in on what Raposa is going to do. Oh, where's Dykus over here? And then all of a sudden you get a nice, easy handoff, good blocks, sets up a touchdown run right up the middle.
First time we've been able to call Ethan Bellamere's name tonight on the kick. That is up and good.
Now, that kick looked plenty good. You could have made that from 20 yards to end the half out.
I'm wondering why they didn't do that earlier. Well, what that said, 10:29 to go. 21-7, Fleming Island with the lead. We'll stay right here. Florida Sports Broadcasting's coverage of the Clay County Clash. It's the Clay County Game of the Week. And we have been struggling all night.
It's been an up and down one. You know, it's still a great game sitting next to you, BP. It's always a good one whenever we get to call one.
Hey, it's great to do Friday Night Lights here at The Rock. It's great to do Friday Night Lights at all. I'm blessed to be able to do it. We want to give a special thank you to Pastor David Tarkington, who showed up.
Nice guy.
Yes, and we will catch him up later. So
I'm sure we'll run into him in the week. We'll get a recorded segment. We need to talk to him. He's a good part of this team and something that really will influences the kids.
Yeah, it's a very interesting role that he plays now as the character coach. And he's providing these athletes with an opportunity to learn what life is like when the pads come off. And they will eventually. You know, not every kid goes on and plays big-time football after this. So what do you become as a man, as a contributor to society after that? So we'll make sure we can get that here on FSB for you. Blue Devils will kick away now. And they're going to kind of bobble this in. Jackson gets the upsy-daisy and then turns the corner, and then a missed tackle. Here comes Demir Jackson. He's got blockers across the 35 to the 30, down to the 25, breaks it to the 10. He's going to get down to the 10-yard line. Demir Jackson, the miracle.
Fantastic little play. He's not even the designated returner on that play. He's one of the second-level blockers, but somehow ends up with the ball in his hands, runs backwards for a couple counts, just gets to space, accelerates, and turns the corner for an excellent run.
Gets down to the 8-yard line. That's where Fleming Island will set up shop. And if you're Clay coming off a touchdown, that is not what you wanted.
Oh, that just shifts the momentum right back to the Fleming Island team here, and you might be probably going to get an end zone shot here and put another nail in the coffin.
Demir Jackson just imploring his squad as they come back out here. 3 wide receivers. Jackson and Beverly in the backfield. He'll take a snap a little high, gives it to Jackson, see if he can finish the job. Powers his way in, gets into the end zone.
Offensive line push. Offensive line
Shove
push.
him in there, and they're going to stop his forward progress, and they sure did. They'll get him about the 3-yard line. But boy, I tell you what, every guy in a green jersey of particular size was shoving him into the end zone.
That's what an offensive coordinator or head coach loves to see. There's no better team touchdown than a big scrum pile that just puts pushed from the 4-yard line all the way into the end zone.
And I think we have liftoff here. Internet gods, please be nice to us while we finish this game. It's just getting exciting. 21-7, 9.5 minutes coming up here.
Beverly in the backfield.
Tyler Beverly now alone in the backfield with Sebastian Broughton. If you've just joined us, you've missed a little bit, but we'll catch you up. Don't worry about that. We're professionals. Take a snap. 3 wide receivers. Get this thing into the end zone. Broughton slings it over the middle. Kind of does a little bit of a Patrick Mahomes, waiting for his signal, and that is caught. Touchdown.
Wow, an underhanded little flip. Finds a seam right in between the linebackers,
and I think
makes his own throwing lane.
I think that was Postemski with the catch. It was a little flick of the wrist. The Worms got a little razzle-dazzle with that arm, and that puts another touchdown on the board. That's Broughton's 4th touchdown, I believe, on the night.
And making it look easy, too.
Simple. What a sequence right here. 27-7.
Well, I think we're missing a guy on kick here.
Yeah, we're going to get
a different holder. Sebastian's coming to hold.
Broughton's going to come out to hold now. I guess because Postemski just made the catch, they want to see to him really quick. So Parker Sertivan, who's been perfect on the night, 9:12 to go here.
Parker Sertivan.
They'll get a good snap, get down. Again, that is blocked. And I think I might have announcer jinxed Parker Sertivan. I am sorry, but that got blocked right at the line of scrimmage. A little lower than he wanted it. But nonetheless, 27-7, 9:12 to go in the 3rd quarter. We'll hang right here. I want to keep every moment live.
Keep all the juju good,
keep
man.
all of the juju right here. We appreciate you tuning in tonight, and we apologize. The internet connection has been rather spotty here this evening, but with the amount of people that are here tonight, probably using their cellular devices, they are definitely taking the bandwidth from us, but that is not a problem. We are here for now and doing what we can to keep this going for you. Brian Paul alongside David Wells here at Randy Warren Stadium. It's a gorgeous Friday night.
Oh, absolutely beautiful. It is packed in here, wall to wall. Every line of fence here has an eager pair of eyes watching a decent football game.
Oh yeah, these are the games that you look forward to all season long. Everything is amazing. You know, the crowd has been great. The smell of grilled meat in the distance that has antagonized us, and we will end up at our favorite spot, Mr. Chubby's, the home of the Fleming Island Happy Hour, where we usually hang out after the games, and, well, the games are streaming there at Mr. Chubby's.
If they have the patience to stick with us.
If they have the patience to stick with us, yes, but, hey, we're going to work on that. Getting our score graphic updated, too, here to show 27-0, 3rd quarter. That ball takes a bounce, live football. And that almost got turned right back over, but that will get down right about the 24-yard line of Clay. Kind of suspect on the special teams coverage there for the Blue Devils.
Well, we're getting back here on defense now. It's been a fantastic game by the defensive line of Fleming Island. It's been led by Nate Newman, a senior that's trying to ball out tonight. The 2 outside backers, Van Hoff and Jackson, have also had an excellent game. I think probably the play of the day on defense was an excellent sack by Jackson there. He came around the edge and really disrupted the whole flow of the game for the Clay offense.
So 1st down and 10. 9:10 to go is the official time. You'll hear the clock for me. Just ignore the clock on your screen right now. 4 wide receivers for Clay. Raposa takes a snap, swings it out to Addison. Addison scored the lone touchdown for Clay. He's going to get about 2, maybe 3 yards there. Conservative play call for the Blue Devils on their first play of the series.
Now the Blue Devils are going to have to try to get these dink and dunk passes completed, but eventually stretch the field. All game long, Dykes has been shadowed by Singleton, the 2 best players from both Clay High School and Fleming Island, matching up on the perimeter. Caleb Singleton's been a very talented player for Fleming Island Golden Eagles. He's got a lot of speed and length. Probably one of the most talented and also a collegiate-bound player year after this.
Second down and about 7 to go here for the Blue Devils. They'll spread out the formation again in the pistol. Raposa gives to Addison. Addison blocked really well. 45-yard line. That was really close to a horse tackle. Addison found the hole, popped through it, got a first down, and they're going to get some more yardage here, and that's one of the first mistakes that Fleming Island's made this half.
Now, personal foul penalties are an excellent way to get back into football games. This game got a little bit chippy at the end of the first quarter, and they're going to have a couple more big flags here. You know, that's one of the things that was an Achilles heel of the Golden Eagles last year under Coach Springs was the number of penalties that they had, particularly personal fouls and procedural penalties that really cost them late in games.
Yep. We want to clean that up, especially even though this game is not out of reach yet for Clay. They could come right back and make this an entertaining game. 8:13 to go here in the third quarter. 27-7 your score.
39-yard line of Fleming Island. Clay will have a first down.
Mark it at the 39-yard line of Fleming Island.
Now, hopefully you're looking for a big play here. You get a 15-yard penalty. You've been running the ball well. You have time in the pocket as well, so let's try to throw something deep down the field.
Raposa comes with 4 wide receivers loaded to the left here in the pistol. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff, throws over the top. Here we go again with Dykus. Can't get it.
Over the head of the intended receiver.
That's going to be a matchup all night long. Peyton Dykus running downfield in single coverage.
Josh Murray on the coverage.
We got single coverage. There was Josh Murray there with an excellent play. It's called staying in phase. You want to be within reaching distance of the belt buckle of the offensive player as you run upfield. You have to be able to swivel your hips, turn and run, locate the football. Excellent job doing all 3.
Second down and 10 now. 8:05 left to go in the third. Probably about 3 minutes from now, we'll have the mandatory Florida water break here. 4 wide, Raposa gives it to Addison, runs it over a right tackle. Good scamper and move. Good blocking by the Clay Blue Devil offensive line. Gets him about 7, maybe 8.
Now, if I'm scouting the Fleming Island Golden Eagles, some of these pop runs have been going pretty well, especially to their right side there. They're able to run the ball effectively in between the tackles. The splits that they have defensively are opening up enough rush lanes to get these chunk plays in the run game.
Third down, they're going to call it about 4. Mark it down at the 33-yard line. 7:27 and counting here in the third quarter.
Outside backers on the field now are Van Hoff and Jackson. Look for them to get some pressure on the quarterback.
They'll go 3 wide.
No safety deep.
Raposa takes it himself and doesn't go anywhere. Ladarius Jackson with another fantastic tackle.
Now, with that scheme and having those 2 defensive tackles, if you rush the line of scrimmage with your inside backers, both of those outside guys are going to come free. And on that play, it was a one-on-one tackle between Jackson and Raposa, and we got a winner.
No gain on the play. And they're not going to bother kicking. This is probably suspect distance. So Raposa will stay on the field and run the offense. They'll try to get a first down here. They need 4 yards. They need to get to the 29-yard line, it looks like.
Now, they've had 2 conversions with the read fake, where Raposa takes a nice read to the middle of the field, gives a nice fake to the running back, and then pulls it for himself. They've had 2 conversions on that, so look for it again here.
It's worked so far. They'll spread the formation. Raposa takes a snap, looking to throw, got a wide open receiver, and that is bounced out of the hands of Demetrius Swilly. A little high, and that's a turnover on downs and a much-needed stop. Ladarius Jackson triumphantly marching off the field. And with that said, the water break. 6:17 to go here in the third quarter. 27-7 your score. Fleming Island with a commanding lead. We'll be right back after this on Florida Sports Broadcasting.
Florida Sports Broadcasting is your home for live local sports in Florida. Florida Sports Broadcasting covers sports year-round and brings you the action live with play-by-play so you don't miss a moment of the action.
Broughton gets the snap, steps, he's going to throw it again. He's got a receiver, that's going to be a penalty. Oh, they end up Fleming Island touchdown! It's a touchdown! Touchdown!
Make sure you like FSB on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And for more information, go to floridasportsbroadcasting.com. Through their strategic IT talent placement practice, Altier Integrated Services leverages their top-tier network and proven talent acquisition process to efficiently support your organization by augmenting its talent resources. Altier provides institutions the talent to achieve competitive advantages through digital transformation and modernization. IT executives are faced with continued challenges around cost optimization and innovative activities. Altier has a proven track record of providing.
Welcome back. Florida Sports Broadcasting. Give that man a Coca-Cola or something, perhaps a Pepsi. And I'm talking about Demir Jackson. Holy crap, another run.
We got a first down run there from Demir Jackson. I mean, broke the play off immediately. We come to commercial break, and all of a sudden we have big explosive plays from the Golden Eagle offense. A great play running off tackle.
You know, I really want that guy on the sidelines holding the big orange glove that says media timeout, but hey, you're not going to get that in high school football. Got to run with it. Fleming Island with another explosive play, and now we get a flag on the play. Maybe he heard me.
Marker on the play.
Sideline warning being called. I think this is going to be called on Clay. A little bit of a extracurricular, and then the visor comes off in frustration. And come on, man, what are you doing?
Yeah, I bet he could throw that visor pretty far.
Nobody could throw a visor like Steve Spurrier.
Oh, absolutely.
Nobody threw a visor.
A
like
Heisman Trophy arm throw on that
warning
visor.
on Clay.
I've seen the man in person recently. He was at an XFL game. He's got a son that coaches for the Arlington Renegades. They came to Orlando. Steve looked like he could still be the old ball coach of old, visor and all. 3 wide, so Broughton get a snap. Fakes it one-on-one in the end zone. Is that caught? No!
In and out of the hands.
Trace Burney lost the ball, lost his helmet, said something funny as he got up.
Burney was the
And that was the read of the game right there for Sebastian Broughton. Just couldn't get it in his hands.
So Trace Burney doing a little slot fade there. He's operating as the number 2 there, tries to widen out and get space. The one problem I have with that route there is he didn't get enough depth towards the sideline there. He ran a little too vertical and had inside leverage on his coverage. The defender was on his inside shoulder. You'd like to see him spread that out a little bit to give Sebastian Broughton a bigger area to throw to.
If he makes that catch, this entire stadium explodes.
Second down and 10 for the
Second
Golden
down,
Eagles.
10 now. Inside the 25-yard line. 3 wide receivers, those 2 running backs with Broughton. Fakes to Burney. They'll go up the block. Step one-on-one. Here comes Boykin again. That is not going to be a completion, but it is going to be pass interference.
There's a penalty marker on the
definitely
play.
testing the Clay secondary deep down the field. They believe that they have some matchups on the outside, and you know you're not going to be able to play potentially next week. We'll see what happens, but we're hoping that they get that connection and be able to make those big plays in the moments that it counts.
Well, they're taking some shots here. They know that they can blow this game wide open. 2 more scores and the clock would start running, and that's the last thing Clay wants with a deficit this big. They're already down 20. So pass interference in high school ball, much like the college rule, that is not a spot foul. So they'll move that. I believe we're probably going to go half the distance here.
Got a new receiver into the game, number 13, Calvin Johnson.
That is baby Megatron, we're going to call him.
Pass interference against Clay on the play.
Not quite first and
Ball
goal
will be
yet.
marked.
I mean, looking at the matchup that Boykin has down to the bottom of your screen, I'd take that all day. It's a smaller, lesser athletic corner versus a big, strong X receiver. That's something you might even want to give him the ball like a now screen, which is just turn and throw.
Marked at the 11-yard line.
First down and 10. They're calling the spot at the 11-yard line, maybe the 12.
First down, Golden Eagles.
And a quick stoppage of play here. They're gonna back it up just a little bit. Didn't quite get the spot right. So now it looks like the ball spot more at the 14-yard line.
Change their mind again at 14.
I'm with PA announcer Bruce Cloud on this one. Yeah, they changed their mind one more time. Stretch the chains, spread it out now. Fleming Island a little tighter on the formation. Stack receivers to the left of Broughton with the 2 running backs behind him. Takes the softball snap. Beverly grabs it over the middle, and he got stuffed.
Gets hit before getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Might have lost 2 yards on the play.
Now, they've had a lot more success running to the right side of that offensive line than to the left. It's something that they might want to consider when they're trying to plunge it in short yardage situations.
Second down and long now. Second down and 12. Ball sitting at the 16-yard line.
We're going to get Braden Mackey in there, now coming in at left tackle.
4:40 and running here in the third quarter. Fleming Island trying to pad the lead here.
Jackson
They're already
in the
up 20.
backfield with Broughton.
3 wide receivers. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff. Broughton sees the pressure, scrambles out of it, dumps it to Pistepsi.
Oh,
no.
Calvin Johnson was open, but he missed him.
Number 13, Calvin
Wide
Johnson.
open. Calvin couldn't get it. The sophomore didn't hit a handle on it. 3rd down now. Broughton had the right read, and it was a wide open receiver. That was going to be a touchdown.
See, that might be one thing that Sebastian Broughton
3rd down
struggles
and
with,
12
running full
for
speed
the
to his
Golden
left,
Eagles.
trying to plant, stop, turn his hips, aim his shoulders, and throw. It seems like it's a little bit mechanical, and he missed that one, sailed it a little bit outside.
It is difficult for a quarterback to throw sort of across your body like that, running against the grain of where your natural throwing arm is. So you would figure if you're running towards your left, your right hand's the cannon here, but you really have to set your feet. Being a quarterback is very much
Oh, it's all
about keeping
rotational.
your
Yeah.
feet set. 3 wide receivers now, maybe 4. I see 4 now. Yep, spread it out here. They're going to move Jackson, swing him out. He's got green grass.
Jackson on the
He's going to
swing pass.
break that man's ankle, get a first
Takes it
down,
back.
and he scampers into the end zone. And Demir Jackson, da-da-da-da-da-da. He goes one more time. Call out the horses. He has run all over Clay's defense.
Oh, he's definitely been a key to this offense. He has the physicality. He showed up on special teams as well. He's had an excellent game today.
That is absolutely what you were looking for. And what a move by him. Unselfish, making the move to offense from defense. Fantastic running back that he's turned into, and they are on to something.
Oh, unselfish. He gets all the glory now.
Yeah, oh no, in a 34-7 game, you better believe it. We're actually should be 33-7 right now.
Pretty important extra point here.
And that is
Kick is up. The kick
loop-de-loop,
is
and they're going to call that one
good.
no good.
All right, so that
4:17 to go
doesn't
in the third
necessarily
quarter.
eliminate
Your
a
score,
potential running
Fleming
clock, but you know
Island,
that's
33.
it is definitely a staple here for the
7.
Golden Eagles. They put it on last week, and they do nice with early season starts. They did last year. They did this year.
26-point game right now. 4:17
Southern
to go.
Brothers Flooring
33-7.
Cabinets is
Clay in a big hole here.
New locally owned and operated
And once again, the
businesses
Blue
for all
Devils
your
find
flooring and
themselves on the
cabinet
short end
needs,
of the stick
as
here.
well as baths, closet, countertops, and much more. Southern Brothers
I don't
is
think that
located
Clay has
next to
scored
Winn-Dixie,
more than one touchdown in the last
behind
2
Chick-fil-A
seasons so
in
far
Island.
Oh, that's tough.
against Fleming Island, which is tough to watch if you're a Blue Devil fan. Parker Sertivin will bring the ball up to the 40-yard line, put it on the tee, and we'll resume hostilities
Parker
here.
Sertivin
Now they've done 2
tries
sky
the
kicks in a
point,
row,
excuse me,
and they might be
kick
trying to
off.
kick it deep eventually. We did see 1 touchback last week, but expect a sky kick over here to the right.
Sertivin will make his approach, kicks away, and they do put a little
End
hang
over
time
end
on it. That
kick.
gets received at about the
Fielded at about
23-yard
the
line.
18.
And another move, great job. That's Antonio Thomas. Cross to the 50-yard line into the Fleming Island bench, and he's still doing a little jog around the way. And another
Right
great
out of
kick
bounds
return
at about
by
the
Clay.
50.
Let's see if they can do something with it, though. Down 4 touchdowns.
Now they're trying to get more bodies into that kickoff unit. You saw Jarius Rogers there. He's been
Clay
their
will have it
defensive
first
end
down
or
at the
outside
50-yard
linebacker type,
line.
and having him on kickoff and trying to make open space tackles is not really in his game.
No, it's very much not. But and I don't have the statistics here, but I'd be interested to see what Clay's starting field position's been like, because they've really not been much beyond their own 40-yard line to start with the entire game. And that's either as a result of a penalty or a special teams miscue on Fleming Island side that's resulted in a good return.
But they have been grinding it out offensively. This run game is still operating pretty well, and
Dykes will take the jet sweep here, comes
Jet
across
sweep.
the formation, gets to the 45-yard line
Game
of Fleming
is about
Island.
the 45-yard line.
however you
of
can
Fleming
manufacture
Island.
touches for him is what you have to do in this case, whether it's a pop pass, a quick sweep,
Dykes was the ball
screen
carrier.
play, something that can get your receiver involved
Put
here,
him down
especially
at the
down the stretch.
44.
Is
It's
key
gonna be
for,
second down
Clay
and
High School, not
4.
only in this game, but in games down the road.
Call it a gain of 6. They're spotted at the 44-yard line, 2nd and 4. And they need to get the ball in Dykes' hands as many times as they can, but they also have to be mindful of the clock here.
Now into the game is going to be the other quarterback, Chadwick.
And he's going to line up as a slot receiver here.
See if there's anything a little fishy about that one.
Might have a double pass here, I wonder. Let's see what they do with it. No, they give over the top. That's going to be Addison once again. Gino Addison's been running all over the place. And another quality run by him for a first down.
Addison carries the ball
It's
inside
just
the
a
35
simple duo play. They
to the
double one person on the line of scrimmage,
Two.
try to create a little bit of push, and they
Play
have
will have a
one-on-one
first
blocks
down.
across the line. It's a very simple play to draw up, and it's been working very well.
Fresh set of downs for the Blue Devils, just inside the 30-yard line, about the 32 of Fleming Island. They'll spread the formation again, Raposa in pistol formation with Addison dotting the I behind it. Gives it over right tackle. Good move by Addison, tries to avoid the tackle, managed to get a yard or so. Fleming Island, good pursuit.
Jackson.
And coverage on the run there, plugging the holes, not giving Addison a whole lot to work with.
They try to run a little outside zone play there. All the offensive line moves to the right and tries to flow and find defenders.
Gain is to the
It didn't quite work
31,
out. They tried to cut
just
back,
inside
and
the 32.
Golden Eagles snuffed that one out pretty quick.
Second down.
Call it no gain on the play, second down. 2:25 to go here in the third. Clay down 26 right now. Trying to carve into this deficit and make a comeback. 3 wide, Raposa rolls out to his right, gets pressure in the back. That ball is tipped and incomplete. Good pressure to get Raposa on the run. Great tip. Fleming Island, no love lost on that play. That'll bring up third down and 10.
Knocks the pass down.
So this is not an offense built to operate this far behind the sticks. They very much so have to stay on schedule. They have been going for on fourth down quite a bit in this game, but they're not built for this.
No, and at this point, tempo is going to be in their future, and I'm not really sure they're built for high speed either. But they'll line it up here on third down and 10. Raposa will go into the pistol. Chandler Thomas looks like he'll come into the lineup as a running back. 3 wide receivers to the right of the formation. Raposa gets the snap. Pressure in the backfield. Steps up, throws. Nice pass, but not enough. That one kind of died on the way down, and that's fourth down.
Josh Murray doing an excellent job all game long, staying in phase with these play receivers. I think he's had a fantastic game so far. They've tested him quite a bit instead of trying to throw at Caleb Singleton. And I think they do have an excellent corner on the opposite side there. It's nice to have 2 bookends. It makes it so it's a lot more difficult to pick on an individual matchup.
Demetrius Swilly was the intended receiver on that play. Brings up fourth down and long. And if you're Kyle Kennard, you need your boys to move the sticks on this play. You don't have to get everything, but you got to get a first down. With 2 minutes to go in the third. They'll move that formation 3 wides to the right. Nobody to the left of Raposa. Now we got another body on the field. Put a tight end here for blocking purposes, it looks like. And here goes Raposa. Takes a snap. Here comes the pressure. He steps up into the pocket, throws it out, and that's going to be a first down. Good play by Raposa to find an open receiver, go to an outlet. Helmet comes off. That should whistle the play dead. And I don't know what the call is on that. They're going to score a touchdown.
Now, actually, is that not a penalty? Now, I was under the impression if you were to play while your helmet is off, that it's actually an infraction.
Now, I'm interested to see what the ruling on this is. The coach is going to get a conversation here. And
player's helmet came off.
I think they're going to whistle
that
dead at the spot.
The play is over. Ball will be marked at the 9-yard line.
That's exactly what they're going to do. We're getting the confirmation here from PA over there. They know what we know, too. So as soon as that helmet comes off, the play is dead. So wipe the touchdown off the board for Clay, although that was one heck of a run.
It's a player safety issue. You don't want the temptation for some kid to say, hey, you're still running, I got to hit you.
And with his
yes,
helmet
exactly.
going
Well, the
off
other thing is,
that's
a good effort play, too. Clay needed a little bit of a spark.
Some juice.
Absolutely. I think if there's anything that get it, it's not Jason Witten running down the sideline, but it's as close as you can get.
Right. Now, you got to get something going here. So that being said, 1:47 to go. Clay within striking distance. They've now made it 1st and goal, so they moved the sticks, did exactly what they needed to do to keep this drive alive. Some continued conversation as to what player can come in or out. I'm not sure if they've called it. No, they have not called a team timeout, so they've got their personnel on the field, and here we go. We'll go back into action.
I think you might see a little bit of a spread look, try to get closer to the goal line, and then they're going to go jumbo.
1:47 on the clock, third quarter. Glad you're joining us here on Florida Sports Broadcasting. It appears we are now smooth sailing.
And is that not the same player that had his helmet knocked off, who then has to sit out of play?
I'm not sure.
But we'll roll with it.
At this point, I did not see a timeout with signal, which would allow him to come back into the game, I'm sure. Spread formation, Raposa gives it to Addison, and a great tackle right on the spot. Fleming Island did not let that go too far. Minimal damage done. I couldn't see if that was Ladarius Jackson or not on the tackle, but if it was, he has been a force.
5-yard line.
Both outside backers for Fleming have played terrific. Ladarius put a little bit more pressure on the quarterback, but Van Hoff is also doing a good job holding the edge.
Second down and goal.
In now at outside linebackers, number 26, Johnny Nellens.
Fleming Island had a significant stand inside their red zone earlier in the ball game. Raposa will spread the formation again, stack everybody to the left now. Possibly have a fade route to the right. Let's see. That's exactly what we go. Get that fade pattern, wide open, touchdown. I called it from up here. My goodness gracious, Peyton Dykes.
Definitely a good call, BP. Definitely a good call. One-on-one coverage against Josh Murray. He's had an excellent game all night, but you know there's a lot of talent over there on Dykes, and he was able to elevate after that play and get the touchdown.
That was the matchup they've been looking for all night, and it finally pays off with 38 seconds to go. Clay trying to crawl back into this game. They need possessions, though. They need to get a stop, because Fleming Island's offense has found ways to bust up huge plays. But a good throw and catch for Raposa to Dykes. This is Raposa's first touchdown pass of the game. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and that is good. So your score now, 38 seconds to go in the third. Fleming Island 38, Clay 14. Let's take a commercial timeout, catch our breath. We'll come back for more action live from the Rock here on Florida Sports Broadcasting.
Through their strategic IT talent placement practice, Altier Integrated Services leverages their top-tier network and proven talent acquisition process to efficiently support your organization by augmenting its talent resources. Altier provides institutions the talent to achieve competitive advantages through digital transformation and modernization. IT executives are faced with continued challenges around cost optimization and innovative activities. Altier has a proven track record of providing services anchored in driving the agile AT enterprise of the future. For more information about Altier Integrated Services, go to altairtek.com.
Welcome back to the Rock here, Fleming Island football on Florida Sports Broadcasting, the Clay County Game of the Week. BP alongside David Wells. We're happy you're joining us tonight. We're happy we're able to bring you this part of the game. Thank goodness everything's working. I'm just happy about that.
Oh, rush kick.
Onside kick. That's touched. That may be recovered by Clay. Let's see. Clay seems to think they have it, and they do.
You see, that's one of the most dangerous plays in football right there. It's the rushed onside kick. It is one of the things that's been banned by the NFL is not being able to have a giant crowd of kids rush two guys in the front line of the kickoff team. At that point, they caught Fleming Island a little off guard, and they ran over that front lineman and got the ball. Excellent execution there on the rush kick.
Give credit to Ethan Belmar there for the bunt single, as it were. And that was really good. Now, they had been lining up in that formation, kind of doing that fake on every kickoff they've had. Haven't had many of them, which is why Fleming Island was caught napping on that play.
But, hey, an excellent opportunity here. Score, try to get yourself back in the game. You have to claw and scratch if you're going to try to do that.
Start the ball right at midfield. They've only worked with about 50 yards of field, more or less, the entire game. Blue Devil fans charged up now. They need to get a score really quick. Third quarter action resuming. Raposa hands it off to Addison.
And Van Hoff totally dominating the line of scrimmage on that play.
Absolutely
Tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Coming up on 20 seconds to go in the third.
Nate Van Hoff.
It looks like we're going to flip sides. What great, oh man, just look at Van Hoff with the penetration.
The energy is just fantastic. Van Hoff, that's his go-to, is being able to stop the run. He's a physical tackler. He's strong against offensive tackles. He's going to be able to play a variety of different positions along that defensive front, but they have him out there at outside linebacker holding that edge, doing an excellent job of it.
One more quarter to go here. 12 more minutes on the clock, 33-14. This game is far from over, folks. We got lots of fireworks to go here at The Rock. We'll be back on Florida Sports Broadcasting.
What is it that moves you? Is it cruising endless miles through woodlands and wildlife? Or maybe it's indulging on the fresh, local flavors of the South. For some, it might be embarking on a voyage through historic landmarks. And for others, it could mean unwinding on serene waterways. Whatever it is that moves you, Clay County invites you to explore your passion. Follow us toward the path less traveled and immerse yourself in an authentic Florida experience. Visit exploreclay.com and plan your stay today.
Florida Sports Broadcasting is your official place to watch Fleming Island football in 2023. Last year, the Golden Eagles suffered a disappointing season and failed to make the playoffs, but Fleming Island have a new coaching staff, and despite losing several key players, are reloaded and have quality young players that will be looking to make an immediate impact in 2023. The 2023 campaign kicks off in August. For more information and to watch the Golden Eagles live, go to floridasportsbroadcasting.com.
First Baptist Church of Orange Park was founded in 1921. Suffice to say, much has changed in Orange Park, Clay County, and the world since then. Though much has changed in the world, our mission remains the same. We are a church intent on fulfilling that mission and are strategically engaged in our community through partnerships with local schools, sports teams, veterans organizations, and more. We are a family equipping church. We invite you to check us out at firstfam.org or join us in person at 1140 Kingsley Avenue, Orange Park, Florida.
Welcome back. Third quarter action already underway here. 11:30 to go. BP alongside David Wells. It is now third down, it looks like, and about 4 to go for Fleming Island on defense here. And there's a bit of discussion going on here from the officiating crew. I'm not sure what the holdup is. Clock is stopped right now. They've held play.
Per the excellent Coach Cloud, there's been some situations going on with the sticks on the opposite end of the field, so they're going to solve that situation quickly as they line up for a pretty crucial third down for Clay. They're going to have to get this to stay in this game at all.
Coach Parker got some sort of explanation and did not like what he heard.
It doesn't appear the
Coach Parker has an excellent attitude on this sideline. He's high, he's low. He doesn't get too mad at any of his players, but he lets the officials have it.
Absolutely. Well, looks like it's third and short, according to somebody here. We'll see where we are. And Raposa gets a give, and he gets dropped. Fleming Island just takes care of it.
These two outside linebackers for Fleming Island, Jackson and Van Hoff, have been having an excellent game, establishing themselves as a physical presence against the run, both as tacklers and being able to take on offensive linemen and shed well.
More outside pressure there. Just a great tackle. Ladarius Jackson all over the field tonight. Getting really good replay footage of him. Fourth down now. They're going to call it 4th and 4.
They've been having a lot of success with the interior run here. Let's see if they go back to the well.
That's how they've been able to convert some of their fourth downs in a must-convert situation. You've got to get downfield and get points on the board.
They got Dykus to the right in single coverage against Singleton.
5 wide receivers. Raposa will have nobody in the backfield. Parker's going to take a timeout here, and that's exactly what they needed.
Timeout called by the Golden
that was
Eagles.
definitely a good timeout there. There's no safety deep in the middle of the field. You're really gearing up to try to stop the run there. If they take a deep shot there and convert, they have a chance for a big play, and you don't want them getting a big one to get back in this game.
It's Fleming Island's first charge timeout of the half. They'll have 2 remaining going into 10:51 left in the ballgame. Coach Chad Parker still trying to get an explanation as to why the chains aren't where they're supposed to be or where people think they should be. Fans in the crowd sharing their frustration with same.
But a different energy with Coach Parker. He has a lot more of a disciplined and organized approach to it. I think everybody is still engaged. Nobody's really sitting down that's not involved in the game. I think the players are more entrenched into what they're doing. I think they're enjoying it a lot more. The offense seems like it's a lot more high-flying as well. You're spreading the ball out to more and more players, and they have some talent. They have some talent on the outside, and as far as defensively, they've showed up. They had a lot to replace from last year into this year. We've had some new names we called out tonight, and Van Hoff and Jackson that are really producing well, and the tackling is a lot better tonight than it was against even their blowout win against Westside.
Absolutely. I'm seeing a much different team. 4th down. See if they can maybe draw him off sides. Good hard count.
Way to hold your water.
Absolutely playing discipline. Empties the backfield. Raposa takes
Van
a snap.
Hoff.
Oh, my.
Van Hoff just murders. Oh.
Holy cow.
Oh, Lord.
Merrick Raposa just saw a freight train with a number 40 come on it.
There's a miscommunication in the blocking scheme there. They had a running back that went out to block on the left side, and he's supposed to scan meaning find the most dangerous threat. On that play, it was very obviously Van Hoff coming with a full head of steam, and I've had a couple of those hits in my career. I don't want to ever have one ever again.
Somebody dial that man 1-800-411-PAIN, because that hurts. Off and unblocked and into the backfield, and that's how the drive ends, and that's pretty much how the night has gone for Clay.
Good pull, by the way, BP.
You're welcome. You still got it here.
Still got it.
Still got it.
Golden Eagles are back on
Golden
offense.
Eagles try to get on the field and put this game away. Won't be the running clock they're looking for just yet, but this would be the second year in a row that Fleming Island would have scored 30-plus points. They're looking to eclipse 40.
Looks like we're going to see a couple younger players, and we got number 21, Jordan Avellino.
Broughton gets a snap, surveys the field, going to go for it all right here. Caught! Touchdown! Woo! Trace Burney with
nice
the
deep post, middle of the field, hangs back there, throws one off his back foot, but with enough air and arc to where Trace Burney can run underneath that. Excellent display of speed and perfect touch on the ball.
Smack it down, one and done. 39-14 with the extra point pending.
Wow, Sebastian Broughton is just so improved from last year. You can tell from his physicality as a runner, his body type is changing slightly. There's a lot of things that are really positive about him moving into this year. He's got more touch on the ball. The arm strength is a little bit more clear. And that spin is improving every single time he comes out there.
That was a perfect throw and catch right in his arms. Can't deny it. Burney absolutely turns on the Jets and scores. Parker Sertivan will line up to kick the extra point.
Now let's see him get these extra points a little more nailed down here. They missed their last two, and that was an issue last year and the year before, so let's not have any concerns here on a unit that needs to be automatic come district play.
Absolutely.
Aiden Postemski to hold.
Get a snap, and we're getting some movement, and that kick probably good that went wide the way it did.
Offside against Clay.
They'll move that up a few yards, and Sertivan will do that again.
Now, kicking a field goal is a lot like swinging a golf club. You know, you have some guys that hit these knuckleballs. You have some that do end over end. The majority of the time, you don't want to hit fades and draws. You just want to see something do nice and consistently down the middle. You know, NFL and college kickers normally have that draw that they normally use, but, you know, you're kicking extra points here. You just want to have something high and straight every time.
Yeah, pretty much. Clock stands at 10:37 here. We'll go back and try PAT one more time. Parker Sertivan lines up. He's had a pretty good night. Kicking game much improved year over year so far for the Golden Eagles. And we're going to get a false start penalty. We'll just back that up 5 more yards as somebody wiggles. And that was pretty obvious to the white hair.
The Golden Eagles.
Might have set a time record so far for the longest PAT attempt.
Yeah, they're just moving back and forth and back and forth.
We get a minute, Dave. Let's see if we can check around the area, get some scores in. I know we saw a couple of really good games brewing elsewhere. I saw a really tight Bulls score at the half, and Parker Sertivan kicks that one through the uprights. That was gorgeous, and that was good. 40-14 with 10:37 to go. Here in the fourth quarter. We'll stay right here a second.
10:37 to go.
Take a look around the league if we can.
Your score, Fleming Island 40.
If not, we'll check on that in just a second as they're running the kick team on here pretty quickly. But nonetheless, Fleming Island starting their games a little later than everybody else in town, so most of the games that we'll be talking about a little later have wrapped up for the evening or should wrap up.
Yeah, that's part of these 7:30 kickoffs. You know, you're going to end up knowing what the score of most of your district games are going to be. Not something that you want your players particularly paying attention to, especially when you get later into the season, but it is something we'll be looking at when we get closer into the end of district play.
Absolutely. Our next broadcast will not be Fleming Island, actually. We're going to spend some time with Clay and Orange Park over the next 2 weeks. Fleming Island had a game scheduled with Rickards in Tallahassee, but that game was canceled on the Rickards side. Tried to reschedule that with another team, and so far we haven't heard anything one way or the other, but they're actually going to mark a penalty off.
Well, while we have a second, let's hit some of the scores from around the local area. We're into the fourth quarter of the contest between Bowles and St. Augustine. Bowles is up 36-28 over St. Augustine. We got First Coast and Bishop Kenny, an absolute blowout win so far, looking for Bishop Kenny. They were up 31-8 at the half. Imagine that game's going pretty close to final. Pump Beach Central versus Creekside, a district competitor for the Fleming Island Golden Eagles. It was 28-21 at half with Creekside losing, and we'll catch you up a little bit.
Sertiman sends that line drive kick across at the 40. Antonio Thomas gets lit up like a Christmas tree at the 45-yard line. Absolutely crushed. What a play. It's Fleming Island Golden Eagles tackling all over the place, whether they're on defense, whether they're on special teams. If they get a chance to lay the lumber, they do.
Just trying to check off every box, every phase. Are we able to throw the ball when we need to? Absolutely, first and foremost. Cool. Second, can we run the ball and run the ball effectively? Can we play ball control offense when we need to? Is the 4-minute drill something we can do? Yes. It looks like Demir Jackson's having an excellent game. The offensive line's holding up rather well. And then third, and most importantly, can we tackle consistently and keep these games close enough to where our offense can win?
Jarius Rogers made the special teams tackle for Fleming Island, and a big one. The sophomore defensive end getting some special time on special teams.
45.
To the 45-yard line will start. Clay gets a snap. Raposa looking one-on-one. Here's Dykus again, and that's going to be incomplete.
Over the head
and again, that single
receiver,
coverage, they're going to test that all night.
So Caleb Singleton there absolutely smothering the outside. I don't think you're going to be able to throw that pass. That's one you got to check off and say, hey, that matchup's not going to be one we win tonight.
Nope. We had some confusion with the ball here, and we have an injured Blue Devil.
That's number 11.
Neo Addison is the player shaken up. He'll hobble over to the trainer, and then they'll give him a lift. It looks like he might have rolled an ankle. Trying to see if we can catch what happened. I don't think so, but see him kind of hobbling over with a Fleming Island trainer and the Clay trainer coming to assist. Second down and 10, ball spotted at the 45, 10:23 to go in the game.
So we've been calling the backup quarterback's name quite a bit. He's in as a skill player for them. Currently, they're running back in the backfield right now.
Trying to insert every athlete they possibly can into the scheme here to get some points on the board, much needed. They're going to give to Chadwick there.
Ball carrier.
Landon Chadwick, the ball carrier.
I imagine they are running out of healthy, fresh backs right now.
At this point, well, especially with some of the hits they've been issued in the backfield.
Crosses the 50 to the 49.
Get to the 49-yard line in plus territory now. Third down, call it about 5.
A lot of energy on the sideline from the defensive coordinators from Fleming Island. They really want to make sure they close this thing out well.
I really like the attitude that we're getting out of this Fleming Island team. There's just something very different about it. I know it's a rivalry game, and that kind of comes with the territory. But so far, they've done an excellent job across the board. And they've minimized some of the mistakes, too.
A little calm, cool, and collected. Nice. There's nobody covering the receiver up top.
And a flag is just going to go flying out there.
On the field before the snap.
Going to get another sideline call here.
Fleming Island's incredibly lucky there. There is nobody covering the receiver to the top of the screen.
And it doesn't look like they've adjusted their formation to reflect that.
There is no one covering the slot receiver to the top of the screen. There we go.
Now they're going to fix that problem. Number 11, Damiano DeSteno, finally goes into one-on-one coverage, but they're going to call the sideline penalty. This time it's going to cost them, and that's going to move the sticks for a first down. And they're going to call another penalty.
Sideline infraction.
So they're going to move it up on the sideline infraction, and then it looks like they're going to do another one. Fans not exactly thrilled with that over here next to us.
So you're going to get the first down because of the sideline infraction and then get a second one?
I'm interested to see there's going to be a conversation with head coach Chad Parker here. Somebody is going to be asked to step back a few feet and keep their mouth shut going forward, I'm sure.
Oh, we've seen a lot worse. Oh, you remember the West Side coach from last week?
Which was unreal. So now they're going to tack on some more yardage here.
Another 5-yard penalty for sideline
just 5, but still.
By the Golden Eagles.
Can't have these add up, and that is more than 5 yards. That seems to be a personal foul, and I'm not sure of the rules here, but I imagine that succeeding sideline penalties will yield additional yardage. So yet another first down by default for Clay. Crosses the 30-yard line, and that's where the Blue Devils will finally set up shop. 9:32 to go, and we'll run a play. Landed Chadwick in motion. Raposa finds him, and
behind him.
Just behind him. Makes that catch. He's got another 5-6 yards to run before he got tackled.
I think Raposa thought he would throttle it down in open space, but Chadwick was looking to take that one up the sideline. And, that's one of the most difficult throws you can make, is that up the sideline throw, hitting him going full speed when you're not ever used to throwing that pass.
The only player near him was number 6, Arian Witt, the junior linebacker. He was the only one in range, and Landon Chadwick would have run a few more yards had he put his hands on that ball and sucked it in. 2nd and 10 now. Another stoppage, and this is going to be a timeout. Clay's trying to sort this out. 9:26 to go in the ball game. It's 40-14 right now. Clay needs every point they can get, and as much time and possessions as they can muster. We'll keep it right here.
Well, to be honest, you're running out of plays.
Yeah.
Like, if you have multiple 18-play drives, you're getting this late into the fourth quarter, you've run over not necessarily 100 plays, but you're at 60, 70 plays at this point. You're probably out of them. You got to recycle. You can't go into the third down plays saying, oh, I don't know what's going to happen here. We got to show this same look, whether it's that fade to Dykes or that middle run. They've been consistently going back to the well, and they can only run dry for – it will eventually run dry.
Yeah. That's something that Westside did last week. They ran out of plays. They didn't seem to have a ton of plays. And when they started repeating plays, and we could see it from up here, it was one of those, well, it's only so many times you can go and try to dip into the well before you find Timmy and Lassie at the bottom of it. So 2nd down and 10 out of the timeout. That's the first charge timeout of the half for Clay. Comes at 9:26 to go in the ball game.
All right, so they're going to put Dykes at the bottom of the screen against Singleton. This is spreading them out. This is formation into boundary, where you have 3 wide receivers on the short side of the field and your best player on the right side of the field.
Dykes has so far only gotten 1 touchdown in this matchup all evening. Dykes, last year's leading receiver, 1,001 yards receiving.
Called on the field.
Now we have a official's timeout. Now the Clay coach Kennard will come to the 40-yard line and have a conversation with the man in charge.
Extended discussion. One he's not particularly happy about.
No. Let's see by his expressions at that point, we are not really content with the referee's decision here. However, we're going to line it back up. We'll try this again on 2nd down. Kennard walked away from that conversation with his headphones, giving the impression that he was
you mean the future projectile?
Not content. Not content. Yeah, that's usually when headphones or hats become projectiles. So again, line them up, Dykes and Singleton one-on-one. And that's exactly where they go. Dykes, they floated out. He did not catch that. And no interference. Singleton, great coverage.
Yeah, it's a good job not grabbing any jersey. There was no tugs there. The receiver was able to go up with 2 hands, but the coverage was just smothering. He met the receiver at the catch point. And just a nice job of separating there. That's one for the huddle highlight reel.
Absolutely. There's a flag on the play. That was 2nd down, but they're going to back it up on a holding penalty, so they'll replay 2nd down, make it 2nd and 20.
No, I don't know if I would take that. I would probably assume that you don't want to limit any opportunities for big plays. And that's all they're going to do here is take shots.
Pretty much. And that's all they have left to do. They have to get it in chunk plays at this point. You're not going to be able to grind this out against Fleming Island when you're down by 26 points.
Well, I just imagine you want to end this game, and the quickest way to end this game is to limit how many downs they have.
Right. So, second down and 20.
Down this time they're going for 20 yards.
All right, into the game, number 14, Jarius Rogers, 6'5", 190 pounds, their pass rusher.
Next week, the Golden Eagles may or may not
line up opposite side of Ladarius Jackson. They're going to see who gets to the quarterback first.
As soon as we know, we'll let you know.
Come in, and the secondary backs off. Raposo rolls out to his right. And no, I'm sorry.
There's Rogers.
That's
wow.
Landon Chadwick on the play. Landon Chadwick rolling out of the pocket. And another fantastic tackle. Jarius Rogers again making a play.
Rogers came from opposite field. He got a really slow jump on that snap, but when he decided to turn it on, he really found the quarterback. That's a talented 6'5", 190-pound pass rusher. You got to keep him there, man. He came into this year listed as a wide receiver, now playing defensive end outside linebacker. You know, these are the type of prototypes that you look for when you're scouting players.
And he was unblocked, too, as you saw there. They had absolutely no chance to stop him. He kind of took that full head of steam, come around the corner, and put a licking on the quarterback. Third down now. Call it no gain on the play. Ball sitting at the 39-yard line of Fleming Island. Clay in desperate need of a positive play. Clock is running now, 8:33 and counting. Fleming Island has been in command this entire ball game. If you're just joining us, it has been the Sebastian Broughton and Trace Burney and Demir Jackson show all night.
After the loss on the play.
Get a snap, good pressure. Raposa dances out of it, has a couple of blockers, can't get around the corner. Gang tackled again.
The energy on defense right now is just fantastic. And that's a nice job by, is that Josh Murray?
To Corey Allen on that play. To Corey Allen, and looks like Ladarius Jackson was also in for the assist.
So Corey Allen's a new starter at safety. It's him and Sebastian Cruz. They were the two guys that are back there, but both new faces, and I like to see the smaller guy making a big physical tackle.
Clay will line up to go for it here on 4th and a country mile. They're pretty much backed up to Keystone Heights from here, but they're going to have to go for it if they want to continue fighting in this ball game. And if you're the Blue Devils right now, this may or may not be your last possession, depending upon how Fleming Island plays it.
I'm just here for a little Jarius Rogers. I think that they're going to pin him back and see if he can get to the quarterback again.
Why not? They've been doing it all night.
Offense stays on the field.
4 wide receivers now. Raposa lines up at quarterback. They need to get to just across the 20-yard line, about the 19, for a first down. Raposa heaves it over the middle. That's tipped and incomplete, and that's where the drive will end.
Number 20,
They had Antonio Thomas, the intended receiver, on the play. Even if he had caught it, he might not have gotten the first down. And with 6:53 to go from the 44-yard line, that's where Fleming Island will take over.
In the ball game.
40-14 right now. We are approaching that point where they will call the mandatory water break in about a minute of game time. And if you're Fleming Island, that's pretty much the last time you want the clock to stop. And they are going to go ahead and take that water break right now. We'll take it with them. 6:53 to go on the clock, 6:52 actually. 40-14, Fleming Island leading. We'll come back for this finale of the Clay County Clash here on Florida Sports Broadcasting.
Everyone from the time you walk into the door to every part of the process that has been done. When you come in, they're solely taking care of you. Thanks to new teeth now, I'm just going to be honest with you, I feel good.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
No more gum disease, no more teeth falling out, no more self-doubt. You feel better, you look better, and it's a better way of life.
Mr. Chubby's Wings are more than just wings. With a great food and beverage selection, Mr. Chubby's is the home of the original Fleming Island Happy Hour, Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 p.m. You can catch all your favorite sporting events on the numerous TVs, including all Fleming Island football games on FSB. Before or after the game, Mr. Chubby's has you covered, and they're only 0.8 of a mile from the Fleming Island High School campus. You can order online at MrChubby'sWings.com or call 904-272-WINGS. And while you're at it, let Mr. Chubby's cater your next event. Call 904-272-WING.
in at quarterback for the Golden Eagles.
Eric Gentry comes in at quarterback for the Golden Eagles, giving Sebastian Broughton a rest. Going to bring some of the 2s and 3s in there. And Jordan Avellino.
Yeah, you're going to see some of the receivers come off, most of the offensive line. You still want to keep enough big bodies out there to protect your quarterback and give him a good experience out here. But you're going to have new kids like Calvin Johnson come in and hopefully contribute here in a nice end of game drive.
Injured player for the Blue Devils. That'll stop the clock with 6:34 to go.
He popped up pretty gingerly, but it's number 44. That'd be
Jason Gofflin, it looks like. Senior defensive lineman will get an assist off the field. Again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your patience tonight. Want to shout out once again Grandma Susie. Can't forget Grandma Susie. David Smith, number 17, saying happy birthday to Grandma who's watching the game in Fresno, California. We're sorry that took us so long to finally get everything right, but internet connection was not cooperating with us here. But we're happy that we're smooth sailing right now. Thank you for joining us on Florida Sports Broadcasting. As mentioned, Clay and Fleming Island here in the clash. Late addition onto the field, number 23, Brady Digman, making his way a little tardy. That might end up running a gasser or two for that. We get a snap, play fake, swings it out.
Throw.
That's caught. Good pitch and catch there. Get down to the 49-yard line. A little body English. Number 88, Jamison Fitzgerald, the junior.
So flag on the play.
Marker on the field.
That flag came from way out there, and they're going to call that on Fleming Island.
Conduct against the Golden Eagles.
These are the things that you're going to want to go back and fix regardless. Even though you're winning, it's pretty much game over right now, and you don't want to do silly things like this. These are plays of discipline more than anything else.
I was just realizing how tight the officials are going to call the game. If they've been calling all these sideline warning penalties, they're going to call just the ticky-tacky stuff in the middle of the field. If it's right in front of their face, they're just asking for it.
And what's worse is that's a dead ball play that happened behind where everything was on the front sideline here, so really didn't need that at all.
But we're trying to focus on the positives. Excellent throw by Eric Gentry. You know, we saw some good things from him last week too. He had a nice seam ball in the middle of the field last week. So if he can get off, this is your next quarterback in line for Fleming Island.
He sure did, getting some quality reps tonight, and that's a great hole and a good run. My goodness gracious, Brady Digman. He might have been a little late on the field, but he made an impact on his next play, and yet another. And now we have an outright fight. And that's going to resort to some ejections, and this is finally where it doesn't need to be.
Oh, careful, coach. Careful, coach. Careful, coach.
So the staffs are going to sort this one out. Flags went flying all over the place. There are going to be several ejections in this point of the game, which is not what you want to see. I mean, yes, I understand it's kind of been tough sledding for Clay, but you basically want to just wrap this game up at this point and don't do anything silly. Coach Chad Parker is on the field right now talking to his squad, and this is probably a much-needed conversation about holding your temper. I'm trying to see who was involved with it. It looks like it was number 52, Nakai Ross, the senior. It looked like he had a helmet knocked off, and that was what started the festivities.
Ross has been coming in and out of the game. It was part of a rotation along this offensive line, and that's somebody you need as a depth piece as the season goes along. So, you know, this offensive line it's got some talent to it. You know, Cunningham's got a scholarship to FAU, and they've got some size at the two tackle positions as well. But you need to secure as many good bodies as you can at those two guard positions, and you know, this kind of attitude, you can't have it.
No, number 23, Lavera's Roberts, was walked off by the coaching staff after the helmet got knocked off, and we are still trying to sort this out now. So we'll have personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct, 1, 2, and on both sides. I did not see a signal for anybody to get ejected yet. Officials are pointing to somebody here, but I have no indication.
He's taking a seat down on the bench here, so I believe you're going to have to get him to the locker room.
I did not see if there was a disqualification. I didn't see the thumb go up here. We're going to watch this one more time here on our replay feed and see if we can get the personal foul calls.
So now looking at the, they're going to call the entire team together here.
Okay, I did see an ejection, but they're looking, I think they're going to toss Nakai Ross out of the game. Yeah, this is the part where Chad Parker gets his team together, and these are the disciplined plays that we need. Yeah, he's over there and saw him earlier, kind of sticking his hands out in resignation, saying, okay, you know, I got it, ref. We're going to handle this real quick. Let me talk to my boys. With multiple fouls on the play, this is probably going to shift the field up and down a couple of spots. They're going to do a little calculus here, get out the abacus, carry the one, and somewhere along the way we'll resume football. And we are whistling in for play here.
A way to nip that in the bud. You know, we're not going to have that kind of behavior as Fleming Island Golden Eagles. So Coach Parker setting a standard of this is how he wants his team to behave. And, you know, there's a line in the sand, and he's making sure it's drawn.
And listen, I'm going to call something out that I heard this week about the dog mentality in football. You know, I don't really care what program wants to have a dog in your program, and that's going to be the one who, you know, man-to-man does all these wonderful things for you. But you got to keep that mess within the whistles. And that was a play that was well after the whistle and that needed to stop. And those are things that are going to cost your team championships if you can't play within the whistles. Anything beyond that is ridiculous and shouldn't be tolerated as a head coach. Tyler Beverly gets his handoff, gets into the backfield. That's going to be tackled for a loss, and I think that's going to be marked out a turnover on downs. Clay will get the ball back. 5:15 to go with a chance to put some more points on the board, but coming out of a very deep hole. But going back to what I was saying earlier, you know, I mean, I'm all about high effort, high motor running, you know, from snap to whistle. But after that, you got to stop, you know, and just realize, hey, you got to pull up. You got to turn that switch off, because in instances like that, you know, there's 5 penalties, and then you get tossed out of a game that you're winning.
Now, I'm not even sure that Nakai Ross was even in the game.
I'm not sure either. That's the other thing. See,
I think I saw him come off the sideline.
Yeah, see, that's another thing. That's attitude you don't need. You know, so.
Now, in his mind, he's defending his teammate from a potential small scuffle, but you take a small incident and you've elevated it and secondarily reacted, and that's always what gets called.
Yeah, and that's discipline. Raposa throw. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That is Chadwick Landon Chadwick throwing to Raposa. Now, so that was a little switch.
So they're going to try this. This is what they tried at the end of the game last week.
43-yard line.
Chadwick is a better passer with probably more ability to throw the ball down the field. And Raposa is such a fantastic athlete. He might project better at the next level to play receiver.
And that depends on what sport he picks, because you got to figure Raposa not only plays football, but he plays basketball. He's a forward, I believe. And he also plays in the outfield and pitches for the Blue Devils on the baseball diamond. So you see him everywhere. Get a snap. Get a, great tackle right there. And that looks like might have been, I'm sorry, that is not the Steno.
No, say Raposa probably has not had a whole lot of exposure to blocking.
No, not a whole lot. As we call that the Ole block.
Watch out!
Oh, the old watch out, yes. The Bulls were charging in. He just waved the carpet over and said, come on in. I can't remember how to do this all of a sudden.
On the play, 3rd down and 7.
3rd down and 7 now. Chadwick Landon at the helm. Oh, sorry, I have messed that up again. Landon Chadwick at quarterback. Merrick Raposa in the lineup. The give was to number 28, Addison Ian. .418 and counting here in the ball game.
You know, a couple rotational players and starters still out in the field, but a lot of new faces out here.
Get a snap. Good protection in the pocket. He'll step up, walk away from it, gets back, crosses the line. That's a first down, and Chadwick found a hole there and moved the sticks. They'll spot him out of the 35-yard line.
Goes out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
Into the game now, we got number 27, Jacob Parks. Also number 44, Jaden Smith.
So Clay with a little bit of drive here at the 4-minute mark. Stop the clock at 4:01 on the out-of-bounds play. 40-14, though. This is not the outing that the Blue Devils were expecting to have. I don't think it was the outing everybody was expecting to have tonight. Chadwick gives, that's a good run, and Ian runs all the way to the end zone. That's a Blue Devil touchdown.
Touchdown, Clay.
That's the most points that Clay has scored on Fleming Island in the last couple of seasons as they add 6 more to the tally here, 40-20 right now with 3:50 to go.
Yeah, get some players walk back. There might be a little bit of chatter. Just make sure you're ending this game, guys.
3:50 to go in the ball game.
Definitely not look as close on the scoreboard as it actually was, as Fleming Island has pretty much dominated this entire game. And I wouldn't be surprised if Clay goes for an onside kick again, try to squeeze another possession out. The lineup here to take the extra point. Kick is up, and that is blocked and no good. So the score remains 40-20 with 3:50 to go.
Your score, Fleming Island 40.
We'll see how they line up here. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back to the conclusion of this ball game right here on Florida Sports Broadcasting.
Mr. Chubby's Wings are more than just wings. With a great food and beverage selection, Mr. Chubby's is the home of the original Fleming Island Happy Hour, Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 p.m. You can catch all your favorite sporting events on the numerous TVs, including all Fleming Island football games on FSB. Before or after the game, Mr. Chubby's has you covered, and they're only 0.8 of a mile from the Fleming Island High School campus. You can order online at MrChubby'sWings.com or call 904-272-WINGS. And while you're at it, let Mr. Chubby's cater your next event. Call 904-272-WINGS.
Everyone from the time you walk into the door to every part of the process that has been done. When you come in, they're solely taking care of you. Thanks to New Teeth Now, I'm just going to be honest with you, I feel good.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
No more gum disease, no more teeth falling out, no more self-doubt. You feel better, you look better, and it's a better way of life.
Nope, right.
Clay tried the onside kick again. This time looks like Fleming Island was better prepared for it, jumped on it. And they'll clear the pile, and that will be Golden Eagle football.
And the Golden Eagles have it.
First down and 10. Spot the ball around about the 45-yard line, and now it's time for Fleming Island to go ahead and boy, they are hauling off Demir Jackson. I don't know if they were cheering for him or trying to calm him down again, but it looks like they're trying to get him settled. He looks a little spicy about something here.
As you might be, the end of a rivalry game, you know, when you lose by this much, and you know it's probably way worse than the score indicates, you know, you're going to come off a little chippy. You might say some things you ordinarily wouldn't, and these guys are doing a lot of chirping towards the end of this one.
Eric Gentry, the freshman, steps back out for his second series.
Series at quarterback.
He'll come out with 3 wide receivers. Fleming Island will toss an extra tight end in. They'll run a handoff. Nice stick and move there. That's number 21,
Avellino.
Jordan Avellino. He'll get a couple of yards on the play. Second down.
Carries for a short gain. Second down and 9.
Try to get you some more scores here in just a second. We hit the 3:30 mark to go here. Glad you're with us tonight. Glad you endured with us tonight as the internet connection sailed upwards and downwards. Glad to finish strong here in what turned out to be a pretty good game.
Back into the game is Cunningham to play left tackle.
Get in some reps in another spot. You never know when you're going to have to shift your offensive line
Oh,
around.
no, he didn't know the play.
And they fake to Avellino, and Gentry will scramble out, still gets a couple of yards.
Oh, somebody told Cunningham that they're going to run a tackle sweep, and he thought that would mean that he's the tackle that goes to sweep. So they had a collision in the middle of the field.
That was not the play that they drew up in the locker room. Clay will take a timeout here. Their second, 2:54 to go. David, what do we got around the world in scores here?
So we're deep into the fourth quarter, the Rains University Christian game. It's 19-19, looking like it's going to be a barn burner there. Bishop Kenny taking care of business against First Coast. Right now, we have a final against the St. Augustine and Bowles game. St. Augustine wins against Bowles at Bowles 43-36.
Wow.
All right, moving on to some.
You see Middleburg lost 26-7 today.
We have Oakleaf taking to Orange Park. Oakleaf winning 42-0 at their place, beating Orange Park by 42 points. Wow.
How about that Nice game against Jackson going to overtime? Panthers win at 10-7 at home in their opener.
Fantastic, fantastic. Nice to see your alma mater doing well
There we
starting
go.
the season.
Bishop Snyder beats Stanton in the Stanton home opener, 16-7. A couple of good games out here today.
We have Providence falling to Fernandina, 12-13, a low-scoring affair. Bartram Trail ekes out a win against Ponte Vedra. It's a district opponent for the Golden Eagles. They win 20-17 over a talented Ponte Vedra team.
Bartram will be here this season.
You got Atlantic Coast taking it to Terry Parker, winning 14-6. Reball beating Sandalwood 14-7. The Westside Wolverines struggling again this week, losing to the Riverside Generals 41-0. And then finally, we're going to have the Mustangs of Mandarin winning 43-21 over the Fletcher Senators.
Chris Gentry was, I'm sorry, not Chris Gentry, that's the wrong artist. Eric Gentry was hit late. That's a roughing the passer call, and that'll move it forward. I was thinking of a country star for a second and ended up talking about our quarterback. 3 wide receivers for the Golden Eagles. Gentry will give it to Avellino. Avellino stumbles on the fake. That ball bounces harmlessly to the turf after being tipped. 2:34 to go. We'll stop the clock. Brings up, looks like second down.
Well, it would have been a good decision, and it looked like a good throw, but it was batted down at the line of scrimmage. Unfortunate, but made a good decision to throw that slant. It was open underneath.
Time ticking away here. Golden Eagles with possession of the football. Clay only has 1 timeout and a lot of ground to make up. Although we have seen crazier things happen here at the Rock. Avellino takes that one. No, Gentry pulled it, called his own number. Where is this? Gentry's going to get to the 10 and then wisely fall down to the turf. Stay inbounds to keep the clock running. And what in the world? We saw some fleet feet there.
Somebody needs to get that guy with the baseball coach because he does not know how to slide.
Yeah, it might need to be some extra training reps with the baseball team on that one because that was a wait, I should go down, but I guess I'm going to just land. And Gentry pulled that from Avellino, called it on the zone read, and then ran off with it, and all of a sudden he's got some wheels.
Well, it's nice to see that the offense doesn't change when you put in Gentry. If he's able to throw in the middle of the field, complete underneath balls, and also be able to run like that, that's excellent for the Golden Eagles.
How's that for a future quarterback? Give it again, and he keeps it. Rolls out of the pocket and lowers the shoulder this time. Takes a good hit.
Get a couple more yards. Stays in
Gets
bounds,
across.
Keeps the clock running.
Keeps the clock running there. 1:45 to
Clay
go.
has an injured player down on the field.
This will stop the clock with 1:43 as we have another downed Blue Devil. We'll mark the ball at about the 7-yard line.
I believe that'll be number 80, Deshaun Douglas.
How about Gentry with that run? My goodness. I mean, that's got to be a pair of weapons when you can have him and Sebastian Broughton. I mean, he just was wide open in the field there. Nobody could catch him. And yeah, you're right. After watching the replay there, got to work on that slide a little bit.
A little tough.
Just a little. That's something you learn in time. Probably not used to doing that in middle school football for sure. So he seems to be shaken up on the play, taking a little extra time to work with him. And we'll keep it right here. But, kind of looking around the rest of the area here, a couple of really good ball games. This was designated the Clay County Game of the Week.
Yeah, that St. Augustine bowl score is quite surprising. It's nice to see St. Augustine's back and ready to contribute. They weren't quite the same caliber of team last year as they've been in years past. But, we're looking at St. Augustine. We're looking at University Christian, Trinity Christian as well as being some of the better teams in the area. And to see them produce away at bowls, it's a fantastic way for them to start the season.
Yeah, that's not an easy place to play down there in San Marco, especially when you're dealing with all the lights, the glitz, and the nice field. And for St. Augie to come in there and take care of business by 7 in a track meet, no less, is
and come from behind to win too.
Yeah, they were down for part of that game too. So, all right, Fleming Island will line up again here.
2nd down and 8.
2nd and 8. Clock running under 1:30 now. Gentry pulls it, gives it to Avellino. Avellino runs into a wall of Blue Devil defenders and then he'll get a couple of yards on that one, keeps the clock moving.
7-yard line.
Make him a yard on the play.
So what do you think?
Goal.
You want to score here to, put a little statement on the game, on the rivalry?
I don't know. I think at this point it's 3rd and goal. You got your backups in. You're approaching sub a minute here. I would go ahead and maybe try something, maybe try a play.
Run right up the middle.
Yeah, little fullback up the middle, and then let Sertivan, if he doesn't get a touchdown on that, let Sertivan tack 3 points on, get the kick game involved, and call it a night. Avellino gets it, and then that's pretty much what they asked for. Run it up the middle, and that will keep the clock moving on to 40 seconds right now. And I think if you're Chad Parker, you send out your kick team, kick the surefire field goal, close it out with some points, and then let Clay kind of do what they're going to do to finish out.
You have been struggling to kick field goals in this one.
I have been. Both teams have had some kicks blocked, although Sertivan has been the stronger of the 2 kickers. He's spent more time doing so. Sertivan's got a leg now. And I think they're going to go ahead and run this down, maybe call a timeout. Play clock will wind down. Actually, no, I think they're going to
let it expire.
They're going to call this ball game.
Good on the refs there, not make them have a chippy last play, score, whatever.
Yeah, with the way the rivalry games finish, you never know. So your final score from the Rock, Fleming Island triumphant once again over the Clay Blue Devils, 40-20. Some post-game thoughts, David?
I really thought this was an excellent game. They started off strong. Nice offensive performance early. Sebastian Broughton threw 4 touchdowns early. So you really got to see your stars play and everybody touch the ball.
Yep. And with that said, they'll shake hands and we'll call it a night. We'll keep you updated on FloridaSportsBroadcasting.com and social media for our next broadcast. In the meantime, this is BP for David Wells. Have a good night.
Mr. Chubby's Wings are more than just wings. With a great food and beverage selection, Mr. Chubby's is the home of the original Fleming Island Happy Hour, Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 p.m. You can catch all your favorite sporting events on the numerous TVs, including all Fleming Island football games on FSB. Before or after the game, Mr. Chubby's has you covered, and they're only 0.8 of a mile from the Fleming Island High School campus. You can order online at MrChubby'sWings.com or call 904-272-WINGS. And while you're at it, let Mr. Chubby's cater your next event. Call 904-272-WINGS.
Everyone from the time you walk into the door to every part of the process that has been done. When you come in, they're solely taking care of you. Thanks to New Teeth Now, I'm just going to be honest with you, I feel good.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
No more gum disease, no more teeth falling out, no more self-doubt. You feel better, you look better, and it's a better way of life.
Thanks for watching high school football on Florida Sports Broadcasting. Make sure you like Florida Sports Broadcasting on all the social media platforms. Join us next Friday night as Clay hosts Ridgeview. Tonight's game has been brought to you by the Clay County Tourism Department, Mr. Chubby's Wings, the First Baptist Church of Orange Park, New Teeth Now, the RCC Church, and the United Soccer Alliance.